But see, you guys are like, hey, we want to drive this 800 miles across the country and have a heater because it's snowing here and it's 80 degrees over there, so we need aircon for that. And yet half of our guys that have blowers hanging above the roof are like, fuck yeah, I just made it down the pub. This is sick.
Where does the horsepower obsession come from in Australia?
You guys can drive anything you want on the street, which means that you're just happy driving anything you can on the street. We get told we can't do it. What did you always do when Mum said that you couldn't have the cookies? Like, you always eat all the cookies, right? Yeah. So I think that's just us. You cannot do this, and I'll fucking show you.
But where are you getting all that car culture from? Like, what are you reading?
There wasn't a whole lot back then. It all come from magazines. It all come from TV shows and stuff like that, mainly covered over here in the States. Back then, if you had any knowledge of the American culture or people over here, you'd made it. Like, you were big back at home.
Australian stuff, even though you could read it,
it still didn't make sense.
There were so many things that just didn't make sense. Like, it was just cars that you had no frame of reference of, a name that you've never heard of, a body shape that you've never seen before, and there's some similarities. Like, that looks a little bit Ford-like. Oh, that's that GTO looking front end. So that's okay. Holden.
Oh, that's a Nova. Oh, it's not a Nova. Oh, what is it? And there's some similarities in body shape and all that kind of gear with you guys, but completely different at the same time.
Welcome back. Another episode of Oil and Whiskey. This week we have Adam Rogash of MPW Performance out of the continent of Australia. That's the country.
Mm-hmm.
The state is Victoria.
And the city?
And the city is Melbourne.
That's correct. On the island.
On the island,
yeah.
right.
Yes.
Good job retaining all that.
Yeah, well educated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nicely
It's
done.
like, almost like we just talked about it 30 seconds before we started. Adam, good to have you here. You're over here for a lot of things. You get the very first ever street
Summernats
in the U.S., and you're doing some tuning on Zach Merton's car. You came up here, you did a tour, you did a video, and now you're doing the podcast.
Correct.
I don't know how much more you can fit into 1 week.
Yeah, we're off to Steve Morris's tomorrow. Got to do a bit of a collab with Steve, and then straight from there, I fly out to TX2K with the boys from Motion Raceworks.
Cool.
So
Lots going on.
yeah,
Kick ass. Well, glad you could come. In person's always better, as we say all the time. And well, let's get into we'll talk about your background and how you got into this, and we'll talk about Summernats, and we'll talk about the show this weekend and the new announcements, and we got a lot to talk about.
yeah. Super excited for it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, so I have been into cars as long as I can remember. By the time I finished my trade and everything, started my jam, there was nothing around really like it, so started building drag cars. We now have a facility that we do everything except for paint, panel and trim. So we will do everything from your basic camshafted LS steel up to 3,500 plus horsepower street cars.
Wow. How does schooling work there? I know we've had enough Aussies on the podcast to know that you go to university. Obviously, everybody goes to university. You know, there's no such thing as college, right?
We're Aussies. Not many of us make it to uni.
To uni.
We normally drop out halfway through high school.
Yeah, you'll fit in quite nicely here then.
We'll get there eventually.
Yeah,
we'll see where he lands in the program.
In high school, though, what is there trade programs? Is there stuff for you to learn for this industry in high school?
There's very basic trade programs. I was lucky enough that I grew up in the country, which means that we were always fixing farm equipment or mucking around with motorbikes or had our own paddock bashes and all that kind of gear. At school, there wasn't a huge amount of things to be learned, but they would teach the basics of welding and metalcraft and whatever, enough to find out if you're interested in pursuing that path, I guess. Everything else comes afterwards.
How far out in the country did you grow up?
I wasn't too far out. So the closest city to me was Melbourne. I'll say city. And that was 3.5 hours away. The closest town to me, so anything with some form of population, was 20 minutes down the road.
How far away is that from the Thunderdome?
The Thunderdome is on the edge of Melbourne.
Edge of Melbourne?
Yeah.
It really is. See?
Yeah.
You thought it was a joke.
I did. Yeah, I thought that was fictional.
No, that is definitely where all of Bob Jane's old tyres went to die, underneath some dirt, and turned it into a racetrack.
Okay, so you knew in high school you were going to do this for a living, or you just wanted to do it?
From the minute I could muck around with cars and had I guess the ability to be able to do it, it was either dirt bikes or cars, and that's all I've ever been interested in.
What was the car scene like growing up there? It's
Oh.
kind of completely new to us.
So
Different style cars.
yeah, so where I was, as I say, I was in a country town, so the car scene was good, but very minimal. There was a town 35, 40 minutes from where I grew up called Shepparton, and that's where everyone went. Every Friday night we had a lake, and there was a main strip that everybody used to drive around, and we used to call it laps. So it would just be the same strip everyone would drive down. There would be 300 cars there. It would be wild. Everyone would be going out the road. We had a quarter mile marked out the road. We'd all go out racing and stuff like that. Back in the day of sex spec and stereos, so all airbrush cars, all that kind of gear, shiny wheels, big stereos, cruising around. And that's kind of how we grew up, and that's where the passion come from for that gear. All of my mates wanted to own the cars. I had more interested in building them.
This is like, what year was this?
Oh, what am I now? I'm 39 at the moment, so that would
be like 2002, 2003.
Yeah, it would have been
something like that. So mini trucks, big.
Mini trucks were just coming in for us at that point.
Okay,
Mini utes.
Mini utes.
Yeah, but our mini trucks are different than yours. They are mini utes. Like we didn't even have trucks back then.
Yeah, but you had little mini trucks, right? You got the little.
We would have Hiluxes and stuff like that.
Okay.
We didn't have anything Silverado based, nothing like that. We had like the old S10 or something like that.
Yeah,
over
little
there,
small ones. Yeah,
but yeah, they were very few and far between.
but there was bags and billet wheels and stuff like that.
That was only just coming in then.
just coming in. Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you getting all that car culture from? Like, what do you read? And it's just sort of anything really existing on the internet. I mean, the internet's obviously out there at that point, but you had a few forums. You didn't have much.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot back then. It all come from magazines. It all come from TV shows and stuff like that, mainly covered over here in the States. Back then, if you had any knowledge of the American culture or people over here, you'd made it. Like you were big back at home. And now, obviously, the internet's opened that up to where we're all just one big family.
So it's like Hot Rod Magazine and Popular Hot Rodding. What
and Street Machine Magazine was the thing growing up. So Street Machine Magazine has been around forever in Australia, and they have been the most prestigious company, I guess, growing up. They were the ones that we used to buy every month. We used to read back to front 3 times over, and you would remember all the cars that had been in them. You would remember the cars that had been on the cover. And now I'm lucky enough to work for them. So
I actually had a subscription way back in the day for probably a couple of years. It was crazy when you come in, you have to turn it over to read it because it was upside down. But
like our toilets flush the wrong way,
exactly,
apparently.
right.
I'm always surprised it's not in like the format of a tall, narrow menu to fit the giant supercharged motors.
Yes.
On there. Like,
They got to shoot.
The blower with the carbs and
It was great. I remember it was probably mid 2000s and through the rim shop and stuff like that. I was trying to consume as much as you could, trend wise and style wise, especially when we were selling parts and wheels and a lot from the UK and Germany and stuff on the VW side, and then you get a lot of stuff from Japan and there's Option Magazine, a bunch of stuff, but all that stuff you kind of figure out even if you couldn't understand the dialect, and a lot of the language. But Australian stuff, even though you could read it,
it still didn't make sense.
There were so many things that just didn't make sense. Like it was just cars that you had no frame of reference of, a name that you've never heard of, a body shape that you've never seen before, and there's some similarities. Like that looks a little bit Ford like. Oh, that's that GTO looking front end. So that's okay. Holden. All right. So, but it was so much
crazy
to learn.
Divide between the U.S. car culture and like what we got from Australia.
Right.
We weren't fed a lot of that, so there was nowhere to see it.
Yeah.
And then it was later in that mid 2000s, you start seeing these cars and you're like, is that for real? Is that a real car? That thing,
right.
It's like a G8.
It was so...
Yeah, and then you guys started getting the G8s over here. You got our... what did you guys call our Monaros over here? The 2-doors.
Oh, the GTOs.
Yeah. You guys got them over here, and then...
What do y'all... Over there you had what we would call a Taurus. A Ford Taurus, but it's a 4-door, but it had a 5.0 V8 in it.
Well, that's a fucking SHO, dude.
I know.
I mean, that's a bad motherfucker right here in the US.
It's called something completely different, but it looks like a Taurus. What would the Ford... Would it be a Holden?
So it would have been a Falcon.
Falcon.
Yep.
Okay, Falcon.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You see some of those pop up, and you're looking, and it's like not the rounded Taurus, right?
Yeah,
Just-
yeah, I remember that. So that's a car I know because I grabbed. That was back in the air, like 2008, 2000 to 2012. That was when I used to go into like Borders, Barnes and Noble, like, and just cruise through the magazine rack. And I'd sit there for a day, grab a cup of coffee, and read about $400 worth of magazines because I didn't want to buy them. And there was some cool format supercar type magazine, and there was one of those Falcons in there, and it was like a concept version of it. And I pulled a lot of the inspiration from that Innovator Nova.
Oh, off of that?
Yeah, because that car had some sick stuff on it.
That's
really
crazy.
sick
Well, it's
stuff.
funny, most Americans that we speak to, they'll see like a HKTG early Holden for us, and they'll go, oh, that's a Nova. No, it's not a Nova. Oh, what is it? And there's some similarities in body shape and all that kind of gear with you guys, but completely different at the same time.
Yeah, it's so wild. That,
I wonder what the thought process is on that. You know, why they're under, obviously share some manufacturing and stuff, right? Like,
Why make the car look
Ex-
so
yeah.
different for no
it's its
real
own.
reason?
It's its own standalone company, right? It's all.
was.
It's all
But
but
completely.
a lot of them aren't. Like, there's a lot.
GM Australia was GM Australia. Like, we didn't have
Okay.
anything imported. It's only been of recent times that we have started bringing in Rams, Silverados, both 1500s and 2500s, and the GMC Yukons. They're the latest addition to it. And we've got Tundras coming over now as well.
Yeah, there was. We talked about it before. It's like they had their own brand identity and completely autonomous of each other. There was some share over, but like purposefully was, no, we're building our car the way we want to build our car for their. Like you said, I mean, it would make sense.
Financially,
Like
it's a bit of an odd move.
Yeah,
It's
it wasn't until 2000, 99 or 2000, that we started getting the LS engine over. And that was the very first introduction of the LS over into the Australian car culture. And when that happened, it was like we had all of these worked 5 litres and the old Holden 355s and everything, and you would have spent a packet on them, and a standard LS comes and wipes your ass. Like, we were like, damn, wow, these things
a packet. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm learning some terms.
And we're like,
I like
these
these terms.
things are gangster. What are we going to do with these? And then you start putting a camshaft in them, tuning them. They're making over 300 rear wheel kilowatts, and you're going, wow. Like,
Where is
Where does
that
this end?
on the LS specifically? The LS swap stuff. You know, we can trace back some of the early pioneers, companies wise, in the U.S. that was really making some of that possible. Are you getting that stuff from the U.S. because it's been kind of figured out here? Or is there pioneers over there on figuring out the LS swap stuff? Not just on the modification of a vehicle that came with the LS, but yanking that out and putting it into other stuff.
There's not many Australian cars I haven't put an LS in. I've been doing it for a long time now. We were running 7-second quarter mile passes LS based over 10 years ago, which is before anyone in Victoria, the state that I live in, was doing them. There was another guy up in Queensland, Terry Sang, that was very successful in early pioneering of LS drag stuff. We took one to a guy named Johnny Pillar at Powerhouse Engines, and we worked in development with him and very quickly worked out where cranks broke in half, what happened. We burnt some shit up and figured it out, and we went out and we were running 780s before kind of anyone even cracked into that market, and that was over 10 years ago now.
You running all this on standalone, well, either Haltech or Fuel Tech?
No, so that was back in the day. We had just transferred over to Haltech for that. So we used to use factory ECUs and everything in them, tune them with HP tuners. And then obviously EFI's come a long way since then. So now we're either Fuel Tech or Haltech, and I guess that you just keep getting faster and faster as you've got engine protection, some more parameters to tune, some engine safety there.
Turbo or supercharger?
Turbos, hands down.
Where does the horsepower obsession come from in Australia? Like, that's from the outside looking in. Your car culture is just nothing but massive horsepower, huge power adders, fast ass cars, crazy shit.
You guys can drive anything you want on the street, which means that you're just happy driving anything you can on the street. We get told we can't do it. What did you always do when Mum said that you couldn't have the cookies? Like, you always went
ate
and got
all
the
the
cookies,
cookies,
right?
yeah.
So I think that's just us. You cannot do this, and I'll fucking show you.
But it's saying you can't do it based on what regulations?
Oh,
and
so
rules?
we've got a lot of regulations. Everything has to be engineered. If we do a chassis swap, so we get one of your chassis being one of the best chassis that you can buy on the market, right? You've done all of the testing, you've done all the engineering on it, comes over to us, and our RTA still says those guys don't know shit, we need to twist test it, and you need to give us all of the parameters for it because we don't believe what they've figured out themselves. We try to put a set of brakes onto something that far surpass what the factory brakes were. No, we don't believe that. You've got to do a brake test. You have to have all of this documented, and you cannot drive it on the street. If you are caught driving it on the street, it will be grounded at that point without being engineered.
So is the majority of the stuff in the car culture over there and the stuff we're seeing and the huge motors and all that not for street use, basically, the builds?
A lot of them are. Some of them aren't. All the burnout stuff aren't street cars. They're all just burnout cars. Anything you see with big blowers hanging out, kind of roof height and all that kind of gear, they use them specifically for Summernats and events like that. Anything turboed, under bonnet, kind of sleeperish stuff, we want to drive them on the street. Like, that's what we think is cool, is having something that can run mid 6 second passes, yet you finish up, you drive down and get a coffee or drive to the pub after it.
Wow. It is interesting that, like you said, this being told that you can't. I mean, it seems like quite the statement to the
sort of the mother of invention,
uninformed.
Yeah,
it's just saying you can't do it. But I mean, coming from America and the U.S., so steeped in horsepower and horsepower creation and what we do, it sounds kind of funny statement of saying, what's your obsession with horsepower? But if anybody that's followed, the Australian scene for so long, it's, visually and, just the way those cars are built, it is predominantly around the engine, right? The jewelry box and showcasing that engine, blower on top of blower on top of blower, like you're talking about. And then low. I remember that the craze for, this was probably 10 years ago, it was, on the ground. Like, we are kind of our version of pro street, right? On the ground, motor stacked blower, bug catcher above the roof line, and then big billet wheels and low profile tires. And like, you're looking at that and you're like, that's a crazy build. However, there's some things that don't exactly go together on making the thing do what it's supposed to do. But great show car.
But see, you guys are like, hey, we want to drive this 800 miles across the country and have a heater because it's snowing here and it's 80 degrees over there, so we need aircon for that. And yet half of our guys that have blowers hanging above the roof are like, fuck yeah, I just made it down the pub. This is sick.
That's the win.
That makes sense.
Sort of like the OG car show mentality. Like, if it just makes it through the fucking awards ceremony.
If you feel like you're doing something naughty, it's fun.
Yeah. When did the shop kick off? How did you get started? How did you take the leap of saying, you know what, I could make a living doing this?
Well, I never knew how the shop kicked off or how I was so successful early days, and now I've just realised there was no Spectrum back then, but I'm sure I would have been on one of them if there was. I've always had a saying, people can out-talk you, it's when they can outwork you that you have an issue. So I just kept working, just head down, ass up, and it wasn't until recently that I looked back and went, oh shit, we've kind of achieved something here. I've got an awesome crew over there. We've got 1,000 square metres of factory space with our own CNCs and benders and folders and scanners and CAD gear and all that kind of gear, which isn't that common over in Australia at the moment. So we've been innovating in those ways. I guess the quality of work has really helped. Social media is a great tool when you're doing the right things, and the shop is just progressively growing from there.
What's the hiring situation like over there?
Sucks.
Okay.
Sucks. Very hard to find good tradesmen. When you do find a good tradesman, they've normally got a bad attitude, and that all of the really good ones, they're taken because their bosses don't want to lose them, or they've got a successful shop themselves. As you said, we're a small island versus you guys. So trying to find anybody that is that good is very hard. I'm lucky enough that I have a great crew of 10 guys, and all of them want to be there. They're all looked after very well, and they're all awesome tradesmen. So
that's interesting to hear. I mean, it sounds like this is sort of a worldwide pandemic, right? Like, it's an issue on the other side of the world. It's identical, man. I mean, just trying to staff anything, so difficult.
People just have to have the right agenda, I think. People have to be happy. Like, we were talking to your guys before, and it was great to hear that I just want to be better than I was yesterday. Like, he doesn't want to be on camera. He doesn't want to be out here telling you guys how to run your show. He doesn't want to be the guy that, this guy from there, he's happy to be better than he was yesterday and be part of the process of doing it. Talking to all of Garrett Mitchell's boys or Cletus's boys up at the Freedom Factory, they all just said, we're just happy to be part of it. We're just happy to support that guy and he's kicking goals, and the better he does, the better we do. And I've got a crew now who are very supportive of everything MPW does, whether it be as a person myself or whether it be as a company. And I think your question of when did we start getting successful, when we got that culture within the workshop, the shop come leaps and bounds. And not only that, but the want to be in the shop. Everyone's happy, everyone's having fun.
We talked about this, on the hiring side. You're talking about it as well. It's like it's a pandemic, so to speak, across the world. And we've talked about it specifically in this industry and hiring at this shop and with other people on this podcast. We've talked about the younger generation and, the want it now mentality and like, well, I want to, some of them, if they want to do this for a living. But I'm wondering if is this just in general, nobody really wants to work as hard as it takes to get where they want to be, irregardless of the craft that they choose? Or is this specific to trades and working with your hands?
I think that's part of it. I think it's the instant gratification that social media and the internet and just everything in our culture has given us that now gets like applied to the career. We didn't have that, so like you busted your fucking ass and you honed your craft and you just kept getting better and better and better and better, and you didn't know because of that. Like you read the Metal Shaper's Handbook, right? That doesn't inspire you to be like, dude, this fucking guy. Like you weren't looking at Ron Fournier in the Metal Shaper's Handbook as being this dude who was a success story overnight and has like cool tattoos and all these fucking chicks and like a shit ton of money and drives a sports car. Like he was an old like craftsman, and you just put the work in and you put the work in, you put the work in. Like the perception of what it takes to do it now, it looks easy, it looks fast. And I think when people realize it doesn't happen easily and it doesn't happen fast, they get discouraged.
I think one of our things in everything that we push forwards on, whether it be social media, television, YouTube, whatever we're doing on our productions, is we want everyone to see the time that is involved, the time that goes into it. Look, we're talking to your guys who are spending anywhere between 500 and 800 hours to colour sand a car. People don't realise that is how long they spent on the paintwork at the start. So you're now paying for a whole nother paint job on top of a paint job
after it's painted
to get it to this quality, and then they take it to Jeffrey down the road, who they've paid $2,500 to paint it, and then they go and shit can him all over social media and go, he's done a shit job, it's got orange peel in it. But they don't actually know how things work, because all of these TV channels don't tell them that. They don't turn around and say, oh, we did this in 45 minutes, but it's been in a shop for 12 months, 18 months, 2 years, and they've spent 1,000 hours, 1,500 hours on metalwork on it, and then they've gone and spent another 1,000 hours on paint and body on it. Then they've gone and spent another 600 hours on colour sanding it, and the car's not even together yet. It's still in boxes.
Well, I mean, my daughter's coming up to be graduating college, and she's moving into a job and looking at what that's like. And she's talking about friends, and I've talked to some other friends that are hiring in other industries, and it is interesting that it's not just a work with your hands thing. It's not just a trades thing. It's not just a blue collar deal. It's any job. When somebody's coming in, their expectations and how fast they want to move to where they think they need to be is so warped. And it's not directly because of the workforce. It's because of how they grew up and never having to wait on anything. There's people coming in, they're like, okay, so if I get hired like how fast until I'm managing all of those people? Well, we haven't even hired you yet, right? You're 19, right? Let's not talk about management of anybody, right? You need to manage to get here, and then we'll talk about that.
Task.
But you think about, I'm just in my mind, think about the things that we had to wait on that people take for granted, right? We had to wait for pictures to be developed. You would take pictures and you have to go and get them developed.
Going a different direction.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, dude, I remember.
4 hours,
line by line.
Four hours till it just got to the crest of the boob, let alone all the way to the thing, right?
We say that about dial-up internet. You don't even know what you were touching yourself over, and it turns out to be some dude's elbow once it finally like clears up. our kids will never know what this is about.
I mean,
but it's also
a new movie comes out, you'd have to wait for the VHS to be in stock to rent it. A new CD drops, you would have to wait for it to be out there to think. Now you don't wait for anything.
There was also consequences of not dropping the movie back to the hiring place as well. Whereas now, the kids just, anytime they want, bang, they're casting it on whatever they want to do. They trip over something and their mum says, "Oh, you're so special. That's the best trip I've ever seen."
Yeah.
Instead of going, "Watch where you're fucking walking."
Yeah.
Like, I would have got a slap on the back of the head for that when I was younger. I guess that's why we want to be better every day, whereas we have people start with us who go, "Oh, so when am I tuning cars?" You're not tuning cars.
Right.
Yeah. Like, you're a first-year apprentice. No.
You're
My
10
mum
years
said.
out.
And then you go, "Hey, go empty the bins," or whatever. Their parents call you and go, "Oh, my son doesn't have to clean the floors. He doesn't have to empty the bins." I go, "Love, I own the place and I clean the toilets." Like, get over it.
Yeah, there was a big shift there. I forget, we had a kid that we got rid of him. He was just cleaning the shop and stuff.
Yeah.
Started off just, no skill set, and thought maybe you could groom this kid and create something out of him. And, I mean, fucking kid had no work ethic. You couldn't get anywhere with him. We ended up firing him. And the dad came in. You remember that?
Yeah.
And he was like, you're like bitching at us. And you're like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you're the one that fucked up. Like, if you'd straighten that out at home, this would be a different conversation.
There's a fine
now.
line between being their friend and teaching them to be a good human. Like, your job is to teach them to be a good human.
Yeah.
And work ethic is one of those things that they can't learn after a certain age.
Yeah.
No, and that was, I mean, again, opportunity for the dad to probably step in, and that could have been a learning experience. But he didn't use it as a learning experience. He used it as an enabler. Same thing. It's like he tripped. The kid tripped, and he said, "Great trip.
Yep.
Good job tripping."
Yep.
Yeah, you fucking tripped, dude. Like,
Yeah. Do better. Yeah. You wouldn't have gotten fired if you were doing better.
And then there's a silver lining. There's always one kid that comes in, and it sounds really sad, but he empties a bin without being asked, and you go, "Fuck, this kid's all right."
Yeah.
And then you think back 10 years and you go, "He only just emptied a bin. Why am I so proud of this kid at the moment?" It doesn't take much to stand out these days.
Yeah, we've got one kid, Andy's son,
Oh, yeah.
who one of the guys in the chassis shop is a great fabricator, and he started bringing his son in the summertime, sort of part time. He's 15 maybe now.
No, 16.
16
or 17.
I mean, this
Yeah, it's
kid
car,
just
right?
polite, and this kid just fucking works his ass off. Nobody tells him, like, you don't have to tell him to take out the garbage or what to do or, like, sweep this or do this or go back and clean this. Like, this kid is hustling, and he is dirty at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And exhausted,
And he's going to do whatever it is he's doing. He's going to do it at 100% plus.
Yeah.
I remember last summer, I came in there, the shop bathroom, the worst one, right? That's over here. And underneath the hand dryer, that tile, how dark it is. And I came in, and he was wiping all the tile, but then he was getting the grout with a toothbrush, cleaning the grout and whatever. And I came in, I was like, "Dude, come on." And I said, "You don't have to do it that way." He's
Just
like,
showing off.
He's like, "No, my dad said don't stop until it's clean." And I was like, "Well, then don't let me stand in the way." Like, hey. And he's like, "It's actually coming clean. It just takes a little bit of elbow grease." And that was his mentality. Like, if I'm going to start this, I'm not just going to wipe at it.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm going to clean it.
I'm going to do it fine.
I'm going to clean it.
Yeah. The result of that, though, like, that kid's going to do something.
Oh, he's going to go places.
spectacular.
Now, anyone who's listening to this, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the day and age to grab it by the balls and run with it, because
It's easier than ever.
You have all these kids around you. You have all these other people, and it's not just kids, it's young adults around you who got paid this money over COVID to sit on their ass and do nothing.
Yep.
And that's the mentality of the world these days. You can run with it. You can make something of yourself and stand out just by working hard.
You really can. I mean, in our shop, we have a number of guys who are at the top right now that started at this company, sweeping floors, building crates at the absolute bottom. And, to their credit, it was tough back then because there was a lot of other younger kids working fucking
willing to
hard
do
too.
it.
Like, there was some competition. Nowadays,
Oh, when I
you said,
started-
that's a great point. Now, there has been no time like the present to come in and grab it by the balls and kick its fucking ass and
It's
just
never
ride it to the top.
It's never
Like,
been easier, regardless of your talent or your education or whatever it is. It's never been easier to exactly the thing that these kids want is to rise to the top fast. It's never been easier of just show up, do what you say you're going to do, and do it to 100% every single time.
Use your
You
ears
could
more
show-
than your mouth, and and you're going to succeed.
Yeah. I was telling my daughter, we were talking with a couple of friends, whatever, and, she's asking, she's like, well, I could get these qualifications to do this. I said, look, all that, you've done the college thing, that shit's over with. At this point in time, show up, return somebody's phone call, be there at time for the interview, and then show up the day you say you're going to start, and then don't ask for vacation the first 6 months.
Yep.
And then don't ask for anything. Just keep doing what you're
doing.
doing.
Don't ask for vacations in the interview either.
And we've had that before as well.
I promise you're going to absolutely rise to the top so fast. She's like, well, that's easy stuff. I'm like, I'm telling you, it's not that easy. Just do that. I promise, just do that.
Common sense is not that common.
Yeah.
Yeah. My son was going in for his first summer job. He's 14. He was trying to get a job at a local ice cream place. And I figured, all right,
that's dangerous.
Like, we'll let him do it.
Get high off his own supply.
Yeah, I know. But you get to deal with people sort of.
So did he get the job, or do we have ice cream?
He hasn't gotten the job. But my wife was trying to tell, she didn't sit him down. I didn't know that this is what they were putting together.
Okay.
So she didn't sit him down and give him any sort of real advice, but I overhear that this is happening. And she's telling him, okay, well, make sure you tell him, that you're going to be out of town for this and that you do this. And then I'm like, well, what's going on? Oh, what are we talking about?
He's not getting that job.
So I said, that is the last fucking thing you say. I said, look, dude, I said, I'm going to shoot you straight. We're going to sit down. We're having a long talk. And we ran through an interview. I made a resume with him, and I told him exactly how to conduct himself. And I'm like, dude, I didn't want to give him the advice being like, you got to sometimes not tell the truth, but dude, you don't go to an interview and say that. Mm-hmm. So I know that we're going to go on a vacation this summer, right? Don't open the conversation with that in your interview. Right. Do not. And Lindsay's like, but he's got to tell him we're going on a vacation. We'll work through that when the time comes, right? But yeah. If you tell him that from the get-go, you don't have to worry about it at all because he's not getting the fucking job.
I'm still with Phil, though, at the ice cream place. That's...
Yeah.
So how much did you make this week? Well,
I owe them
here's the thing.
$75.
His son's a ice cream connoisseur.
So from stories I've heard, I'm just looking at three guys in a room now going, so when's he old enough to start working in a liquor store?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
That wouldn't do him that good either.
Fortunately, we haven't gotten there with him yet. He's late bloomer.
All right, so where we're going? Oh, so the shop's doing great. When does the whole Summernats thing come in? How does that happen?
So I was lucky enough. I've been working with Summernats or Street Machine. They're sister companies. I've been working with Street Machine, doing some builds for them, fabrication, roll cages, tuning, getting cars down the track type deal for their YouTube channel. Now, Street Machine had a workshop, and that workshop was sold. So they were just leasing that space. And they did the math on what it was to keep it going and all that kind of gear, and they decided to pull the pin on it. They approached me about taking over that channel, and I said to them, look, I think that we change the name of it and it just goes to Street Machine TV, which ties in with the rest of their footage. So what we've done is we've worked out a deal, and we've moved their workshop into the corner of mine. And we've set up a dedicated space which we film in, and we do the builds and we do all the tech stuff and all that kind of gear, and we can get the race cars out and race them and kind of bring everyone along for the ride. Not only that, I go and crew on top fuel teams. I come to things like this. We go to Summernats. I've done the dyno at Summernats Australia for 10 years now, which evolution's got further and further, which we'll go into. So I've been lucky enough to come along this ride now, and it's just opened up a whole other pathway in my career that I guess you get stale sometimes. I'm lucky enough that I didn't get stale, but there wasn't a whole lot that I hadn't done. And now it's just opening doors to a whole new pathway for me. So feeling pretty humble at this point about what I get to do.
That's awesome. At the shop side, on your split between your customer base, how many these are full-blown drag cars, and how many are this is a street car, I want to be a little faster?
Everything we do is a street car. When I say that, we do a couple of double frame rail things and stuff like that, but that's for our big customers that have normally come through street cars, and that's because I like to push the envelope. As far as street cars go, that is what we specialise in. So anything from your 9-second street car to drive to the track on pump fuel or E85, run a number, put your kids back in it, drive home, down to drag and drive stuff that's running mid-sixes consecutively and towing trailers around the countryside. So I'm the only one in Australia who's won our drag and drive twice in 2 different vehicles. So I've won it in my VK Commodore. I won the weekend version in my VK Commodore, which is a 2,500 horsepower LS-based twin-turbo, 4-door, mid-80s Commodore. And I've won it and still got the lowest average ever ran in the week version in my Ford Capri, which is a 1969 Mark 1 Ford Capri, which I don't think you guys got over here. It's basically a Pommy Fox body, 100-inch wheelbase deal, and we shoehorned. You would have seen it on Merton's channel, and all the boys from Hoonigan and Gary.
Is that the blue one?
Yeah. And Gary gave it a free rev to about 11,500 RPM one day, and don't let Gary in your car, guys. And so we shoehorned a 596 cube big block with twin 98mm turbos into that, powered it with a Fuel-Tech FT700 and made over 4,000 out of it.
What rear suspension's that got?
That's got one of our rear clips in it with some AFCO 6-inch travel shocks and a 4-link with a short top arm, so it's good for kind of no prep and instant separation on the line.
That's a short wheelbase with a lot of power.
Have you seen the videos
like
of
the
how
fuel
short that
alternates
wheelbase is when all 4 wheels are off the ground? You have to drive over the wheel. So we've got a thing, short wheelbase, we say you got to drive over a wheel stand, you can't drive into it.
Okay.
So if you come out of the hole and you haven't hit it hard enough, you're always going to drive into a wheel stand as you try to apply power, because your rear end's already separated, but you're now driving up on the back tyre. Whereas if you can have the rear end come up while the front's trying to come up, it dives it back into the ground. You've got the power in it at that point, and if you're lucky, it stays down. If you're not lucky, at 1,000 foot, your laser ride height shuts you out, and you wonder what happened. That's happened a few times. So we get
so different.
We get 14 inches off the deck, and our laser ride height shuts the car off. And we've had that happen at 1,000 foot in at 200 mile an hour before in that.
That's
car.
to keep it from getting
from
slamming.
Yeah. Well, that's to keep it from getting airborne. Yeah.
That's a laser, or
it's a laser. Yeah, it's just like a Banner laser sensor. It faces straight at the ground, and just off of the
proximity.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, just off the resistance, it figures out how high it is, and we set it up in the ECU of over race time how much lift you can have on that before it shuts you off.
You're running traction control on all these too.
We have been now. Yes. Yep. So different traction control than what you street car guys are used to. Like you'll go front wheel speed over rear wheel speed and set it up that way. Whereas we normally go on a racetrack, we'll go drive shaft RPM over race time. So at this point of the track, we want this much drive shaft RPM to go this fast. We'll pull up another plot on that track that we've gone down before, and we'll make it chase a plot. As soon as it starts getting over the plot, it normally means that we're spinning tyres or whatever. We'll use timing to control that power and pull it back down onto the plot and drive along it.
What if you're not spinning tires and you're actually just moving that much faster?
Then you just move the plot up.
Gotcha.
Until you're spinning tires.
You just move the plot up and you keep chasing the plot. Look, if we're over the plot the whole way and we've got 10 degrees of timing out of the deal, then we know that the track's there and the air's good, and on the same boost we're going to go fast. So we can start lifting the plot at that point and chase it, ride it.
Computer game has just changed the drag race world, right?
100%. 100%. Boost control.
So your tuner is probably more important than your driver at this point?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I do both in that car. I do both in a lot of the cars that I build. And you're just a passenger at the end of the day. We've got gear shift via race time and RPM. We've got all of our 3-step. So we call a 3-step where we'll bring it up higher than what our launch RPM is to build boost. And then it pulls it back down onto the 2-step once we make the boost that we want to make. Because at 5,000 RPM, we're going to overpower the track. At 38, we're going to have a nice dig. So we'll pull it back down at that point. As soon as you see it come back down to that, you let go of the button and you point it in the right direction and hopefully make it to the other end and pull it shoot.
Is there anything on pitch and yaw on pulling power if it's
so we can tune over G meters as well, and that's one tool that we use a lot to tune with. So we'll be able to notice when it's at the edge of knocking a tire off. So you're saying about the plot, and how do you know when you're just overpowering it or turning tires? So as soon as you start to turn a tire, your G meter will show that before anything else. So we can see whether it's doing that. If it comes up and it's trying to hold steady G's, then we know that we're not turning a tire. It's just we're on that plot and we can go much faster on that track.
Huh.
We use a lot of We use a lot of pinion angle things. So with a slick tire or a big tire or like a 10.5, we will go say 1 degree down pinion angle. And we'll use that because we don't really want to separate the rear suspension. We want to travel up and weight transfer from the front of the car over the back. So we'll run underneath 100% anti-squat. Now, you guys will understand anti-squat is bottom of your rear tyre to basically your camshaft in a V8, and anything underneath that line is under 100% anti-squat. That line is 100%. Anything over's over 100. So whereas with a radial car, we'll go 4 degrees down on a pinion angle because we want it, as it turns that pinion, we want it to separate that rear end and push that diff into the ground and get as much separation as we can early, because that's how we slam the radial into the ground, keep the front down and drive out, and we're anywhere up to 230% anti-squat. So big difference with how we're setting radial up versus slick.
Wow.
And it's all in the rear end.
That's nuts.
How much time are you spending test and tune on that track to get it dialed in?
Oh, depending on the car, some of them work, some of them don't. Some of them will go out to 8 days of testing and come back and put it to where we started and go, oh shit, it works now. We just had a bad day. Others, you will just go out and from the testing that we've done on other vehicles, they'll just be under 110s in the 60 and they'll start going fast.
What's harder, getting way faster on big tire with traction or radial tire?
Depending on track surface. If it's a radial prep track and you're on a big tyre, you're probably going to own no teeth by the end of the weekend, because the tyre shake is so violent that it's knocking your teeth and bearings and everything out of the car. And if your lack of control is anything like mine, you try and drive through the tyre shake, which breaks a lot of shit, which most people do. But if we've got really good prep, I enjoy racing radial for how smooth it is. You've got one hand on the wheel and you're normally just heading down a track. You will come unstuck at some points and whatever, but a big tyre, you are driving that car. So by the time you get wheel speed on the hit and leave, so for anyone who doesn't understand, a radial is dead hooked the whole way down the track, whereas a big tyre, we are doing a controlled burnout for the whole time we're driving it. So we've got wheel speed from the start and we want to control that wheel speed as we come down, which means that you are floating and you're driving that car down the track. So I think to get rowdy and the fun aspect, I really enjoy racing big tyre, because you get out of the car with a buzz every time. To go proper fast, I think radial's where it's at now. As long as you've got the track prep and the guys who can get that surface right, I think radial's where it's at.
Radial, you're leaving more horsepower on the table that you're not using, so to speak, right? Because it's a traction game.
I've had more horsepower in the stuff that we build with a radial than I have with a big tyre.
Really?
Yeah. Because we run into tyre shake issues. And that's the problem. You start to overpower or...
Is that a tire thing or a track thing?
It's a track thing normally, because everything back home is prep for radial.
So, yeah, it's just...
It's tight. Yeah.
What's the difference on a track prep for radial?
The glue that they use, the amount of rubber that's on the surface, how they drag it, how they prep it. It's way tighter and stickier for a radial than it is for a big tyre.
So you're more apt to shake a tire because it's hooking up that much faster.
It's trying to dead hook.
You need a slicker track for a big tire.
Correct. So it's trying to hook up and you're trying to drive through it.
Yeah.
And we just
it's just popping over every time.
And we just keep putting power in it to try and get enough wheel speed, because sometimes it sounds silly, but you need to apply more power to break that traction.
Break the traction.
To get through. But then the problem is you'll end up finding stickier parts of the track and it'll hook and you just get out of shape.
I can't imagine tire shake like mid-track when you find the stickier spot down.
Yeah, we've definitely had that. Before.
Yeah, that'll break some parts, man. Definitely break some parts.
Yeah.
What's your I know some of these are weirder questions. I'm trying to learn a lot more about that scene in your day to day. Our customers are kind of all over the place, but you could overgeneralize what, kind of our customer looks like and is into and where they've gotten in life and the things that they're into, that they're spending money on. What's your core customer, guys? What age group, demographic?
The opposite to yours. I haven't met your customers, and I believe that your customers would be successful guys, business owners, people who have made mistakes in life and gone, oh, I didn't enjoy that, or I didn't like that, or I tried saving $1 there and it cost me more. I just want these guys to do this right, and this is my end outcome, and I'm going to make more money doing what I do for a living than what I am trying to build my own car. I'm going to take it to these guys. Am I right?
That's
pretty good.
Yeah.
Really good.
My customers try to fuck with everything themselves to start off with.
Okay.
And then they realise,
shit.
maybe I can't. And these are normally some of my better customers. They're
After
normally,
they fuck some stuff up.
Yeah,
They're
after they
probably
fuck,
great. Yeah.
after they fuck it up, they go, oh, look, do you want to have a go? And then you get it right, and they go, oh, it's really not that easy. But our guys are mainly younger guys. All of our big builds, when I say big builds, I mean like full ground up stuff, full engine conversions, 3,000 plus horsepower deals, all that kind of stuff are normally business owners who have a plan in mind and have the ability to be able to do it and understand where time and money is spent. And yeah, we've got a great customer base like that, but we do have a lot of the younger guys that we're still educating. And I always say to my customers, you're paying for an education, not just a product. So as long as I'm sitting there telling them what we're doing and why we're doing it, if they go down the road to someone else and they go, no, he's doing it wrong, he doesn't know what he's doing, and they take that advice, well, you're no longer my customer. So we just have to be strict like that because there's so much, everyone does things differently.
Right.
And
Have you ever looked on that topic? Have you ever looked at anybody else's tune and been like, wow, he got it right?
yeah, I have.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, there is a
We've
couple-
got the running inside joke that no tuner can look at anybody. It's night and day different on every single tune. Everyone's wrong, but they all still make pretty similar horsepower.
Yeah, we all say there's more than one way to castrate a cat. As long as you don't get scratched at the end of it, you're doing it right. So
Wow.
it's
Put that up there with the one that Kyle dropped on you today.
Yeah.
it's you don't always have to agree with the path that someone takes to get there, but you can't argue with the outcome if it's right.
Wow.
So, and I think that makes a good tuner or anyone good in our industry is we have to be happy for other people's way of doing things as well. Doesn't mean that we're going to adopt it, but we also have to accept it and go, well, they're kicking goals, they're doing well.
Yeah. Well, because you got to be results driven,
Yeah,
not
100%.
just process.
Yeah, and we've also seen enough shit stuff in our lives to go, well, that guy's not shit.
What do you think is one of the biggest challenges that you guys have to deal with over there, being in Australia, that we may take for granted
Parts.
over here? Parts.
Hands down.
That was fast.
Parts and shipping costs, the cost of fuel now. You guys get tariffed. We get 3 times that over on our end because we cop it on the shipping. We cop it on what you guys are getting charged. None of us are making any more money. We're losing it, if anything, but the customer is paying twice as much. Supply time with things, especially when it comes down to Mickey Thompson tyres, dart blocks, reed cases. Like we just find that stuff super hard to get.
Do you have any big distributors that are trying to circumvent that and stock things?
We do, but the problem is they all go offshore to get things made, which means that the quality isn't quite as good as what we were originally getting, which is a massive problem. I was talking to a guy the other day and like even down to certain brands of timing chain sets. You have a look and they don't fit on the gear properly or they're machined out of round. And so you've got a tight spot on the timing chain as you're turning it over. So we never used to see those things back in the day. The quality control is going out the window. But for us, trying to get parts over in Australia is super hard.
You deal with Summit a lot?
We do to a certain degree, but even trying to get parts off those guys, they're great. But as soon as it gets shipped over, the taxes and the import duties and everything we have to pay on that absolutely kills you. And then customs hold it. We've got to do... I deal a lot with Dusty and the boys from PTC. And we order a torque converter off of PTC or Mark Mickey or whoever, and we get phone calls and emails, oh, we've got your part in customs and we've held it because you haven't filled out your asbestos declaration. And we're like, where is asbestos used in an all-metal product? Oh, no, now you've got to pay this duty, but we've got a free trade agreement with America. Oh, but prove that it's made in America. So
just give us our money so you can come get it.
That's
basically
all it
what they're
is. That
saying.
is all it is.
It's just extortion.
You just can't work around it, which means that, yeah, it ends up being super expensive to get parts over there, which means build costs are up. And, yeah,
It sounds like an opportunity. You start running speed parts over there like, the cocaine cowboys.
Yeah.
Running drugs up through Miami, dude.
Get a plane or a submarine or
fast-
something
need
and
one
we'll
of
start running it
boats and
over.
some
We need one of
planes.
Kalitta's 737s.
I'll go you
load
boys.
that thing.
I'll go you boys halves and we'll start smuggling parts.
Gotta be fun.
Bunch of cylinder heads and timing chains, and we're in jail. Like
Yeah.
just be on the government.
Yeah, you're in maximum security. What did you do? Car parts. Oh shit.
Yeah, a shit
But the
ton
good
of 'em.
stuff, dude. We're living the good stuff.
That'd be funny. All right, so 10 years with Summernats, and when was the decision made to, you know what, we need to bring our crazy asses over to the U.S.?
10 years ago. So the guy who owns, I say the guy, there's actually 3 people who are the prime owners of Summernats. But the main guy is called Andy Lopez. Andy is the guy that nobody would suspect. He's the guy without his hair done, with the craziest looking cheap Kmart shorts on, running around, shuttling everyone on the weekend from the front gate down to the back. Just because that's the guy that he is, super humble. He purchased Summernats 10 years ago, just over 10 years ago. He got a guy named Adrian Hodgson working for him, and Adrian is just a super hard worker, super intelligent guy, and just makes the right choices, knows a lot of people, gets along with everyone in the industry. And they started talking about it then. So they got Garrett Mitchell, or now Cletus, this is before he was Cletus, they got him out and kind of gave him the Summernats bug. And that's how all the burnouts started over here. He bought that back over here and, I guess started making it big. From that day that they had him out, they were talking about bringing Summernats to America. It just, everything had to align, everything had to work into the right plan. And then obviously this year was the right plan. So not just America, but we're now going over to New Zealand next year. So next year will be Canberra.
I thought y'all didn't like...
Is that more of a fight?
I thought y'all didn't
or?
like each other.
No, not at all. We like kangaroos. They like sheep. We're close. It's lion, tiger,
Alabama, Mississippi.
So we've made the big step where we are
Not saying it.
where we are Australia. So Canberra in January. In February we're back in Florida. In the end of February we are in New Zealand, and then in March we are over in Indy. So it's going to be a busy start to the year with all the Summernats events.
March
in Indy.
Yeah, 17th and 18th of March got
They
released.
said September.
September.
Okay,
September.
yeah.
Sorry.
March, it's still snowing in Indy.
Yeah.
September.
It's
Sorry, we've got March over
Fucking
February.
snowmobile races with big old superchargers.
I'm getting my dates confused. I'm thinking about now.
It'd
No,
be
we've got February in Florida and then September in Indy. So we've got the 3 events within 6 weeks of each other between Australia, New Zealand, and Freedom Factory again.
Where
And then we've got
in
one
Indy is it
September.
going to be at?
It's
IRB?
at the motorsport complex there.
It'd be cool. It used to be where we did all the burnouts. I mean, that was the draw to the show. Good Guys used to have a show in Indy at the drag strip, and it was like
was the show.
coolest show forever. And everyone would hang out at the hotel and it'd just be burnout after burnout after burnout. Everyone having drinks, hanging out.
Yeah.
And then they stopped the burnouts. And then the show kind of dwindled off, and 2 years later they canceled the show, and we haven't been back since.
Yeah, okay. Well, one thing these guys know how to do, it's not just the burnout show, it's a festival. And you come over to Australia and you'll see from the day the minute the gates open to the minute they close, there is something on. And the good thing is every Summernats has to have a cruiser route. So you've got all the contestants, I think you guys call them, not entrants, we call them entrants. They all drive around a cruise route. So when they're not doing burnouts, when they're not on the dyno, when they're not drag racing, they're driving around and being part of the crowd. Everyone's looking at their cars as they're cruising around. Everyone's having a fat time. But not only that, the dyno's on when the drag racing's not. The drag racing's on when the burnout's on. And there's somewhere around the venue to move and get something at all times. And then when you think it's over, the band kicks up and you've got a band or a DJ playing until 1 o'clock in the morning and the bar's open and everyone's having a fat old time.
I think we need to figure out a way. We probably need to do it for R&D.
Yeah.
Is there any kangaroo boxing?
It's something we could probably start. We hadn't thought about that.
I'd box the shit out of a kangaroo.
They whoop your ass.
You don't know that.
I was down at the
big
Freedom
old boy is
Factory for just for Friday.
Yes, that's where we met.
Yep.
Yep.
The coolest thing, they have like a whole cruise section, and then there's a burnout strip with the K rails on each side, and everyone just kind of cruising around. They go through the pits of the drag strip, and they stop, and then it's just burnouts, and 98% of the crowd had to be standing just there.
Wow.
It's
And
called Tough Street.
Yeah.
Tough Street.
Yeah, so that is exactly what it's for, is to keep everyone in control for the rest of the cruise route. They're having fun. They get to Tough Street and they rip a big skid and then they just keep on cruising around.
And some rowdy boys.
That was a cool concept.
Yeah.
How many guys put it in the K rail? I mean,
I didn't see any.
everybody
The
shot it.
hairy thing, they're running drag racing at the same time, and
Yeah,
that was
the
at the
smoke gun.
end of the drag strip, and guys are going through the traps at $180, like we were watching the roll racing, and there's just a cloud, like a wall of smoke, and you can't see, and it's just gone. Car disappears.
It's hard when you don't know which way the wind's going.
Yeah.
And I learnt about Florida on the weekend, and that is it has the same weather pattern as Melbourne does. It's like 4 seasons in one day, and you just, whatever the weather says is going to happen probably isn't the case.
Yeah. We were there like 2-3 o'clock on Friday,
And it
is
bucketed
sunny.
down.
There's not a cloud in the sky, and it's pouring. You pull up the radar, nothing on the radar.
Just a rogue
Clearly raining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it come down hard, didn't
Yeah.
it?
or that ice age condensation. Hasn't been that long ago.
Yeah, that's one area where the weather's useless to follow.
It could, yeah. The percentages things doesn't matter. 70% means that you're good for you. If they say 10% chance, that 10%'s on top of you.
Yeah.
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 So how was the show this weekend?
It was great. Thursday, Friday, people started realising what was going on and coming through. Just before the pro class started, we got some rain on Friday, which closed the gates. Saturday felt like Summernats. We got there Saturday morning, and it actually felt like Summernats. It was amazing. So the vibe, the crowd, everybody that was at the drag strip, we had full grandstands, we had everything going on there. The burnout pad was absolutely packed and standing room only. It was really cool. I left after we packed everything up. I left and the band was still playing, and it was standing room only out there as well. So they kicked goals. They did well.
Were you running the dyno?
No, I wasn't. I was over here doing a couple of guests with the drag racing and stuff like that, and doing a little bit of commentating and whatnot up there, plus doing filming and everything for the Street Machine YouTube channel. So all of that and what we've done here today with you guys, that's going to go on to the Street Machine YouTube channel, and anyone can jump on and check that out as well as go back through it and check out all of the Australian Summernats coverage. And that's what you're going to expect over here in Indy in September.
Do y'all have a bikini contest?
We used to.
Everybody used to.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful with that. Gotta be careful with it, dude.
Yeah. Summernats used to go.
I tried bringing
Somebody's taking a stance on that.
I tried bringing it back. I'm the one that tried bringing it back. Nobody liked it.
Yeah, we were surprised. I went to World Cup finals in November down at Maryland Raceway, and they had a bikini contest. And I'm like, I like America. This is back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Dude, I brought it back from a marketing standpoint. A lot of haters. out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are all people that like to be seen saying they don't like it.
Could be argued. I mean, some people called and were like really upset. Phil got some very upset phone calls.
A couple of emails weren't the best.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Fuck
You
it,
just
you
not
know?
go to the show.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
we used
good grief.
to realize if something was going to offend us, we just picked something else to do.
Or you just kind of look that way.
Now I feel like everybody has a voice, which I'm okay with. But just use your voice. Use your voice for good,
right?
Because you do realise that when you're doing fun stuff with that voice, life's fun. When you're pulling people down, it also pulls you down too. So I just go, let people enjoy what they enjoy, because not everybody enjoys vegan food on a Saturday night at 7 o'clock before they go to bed.
That's right.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't care if you do, really. But
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's the
It's the entitlement of thinking that your voice means that much.
not
Yeah,
not
It's
everybody
more important.
Yeah.
Not everybody enjoys EV Broncos. Sorry to say, but
Yeah.
I did notice that you got an
Which
EV
is
Bronco down
perfectly
there.
fine,
but
dude.
it's perfectly
Well, I don't
fine,
even
but
care.
I don't want it.
I don't even think it's the
Yeah,
fact that
but-
that they think that
But
their
did it
opinion is
upset
important.
you enough that you need to go like on
Not at all.
YouTube and like publicly have a fit about it?
Not at all.
Like it just don't like it, which is great. That's fine. That's perfect. Like
No,
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's the fact that you think your opinion should be heard, because it's not. they're not making their opinion heard to the guy that did it or the person that did the thing. They're making their opinion heard to everybody else that's watching. They're like, hey, look at the thing that I don't like.
Yeah.
It's trying to rally.
This is the thing. This is the thing that I don't like. And it's again, I mean, back to the bikini thing, right? If from a marketing standpoint, maybe it's a different thing. If it's at a show and stuff like that, if you didn't go and like steal them from another country and are forcing them to do the bikini show, and like you open this up and anybody could just go and enter it under their own free will, then
it's not exactly like sex
all of,
trafficking.
Yeah,
in all of our motorsport, we don't even have grid girls anymore. So you go to the F1, you go to any
capture them in the parking lot and be like, "This is what you're doing."
Yeah, put it on. Put this fucking swimsuit on.
Keep the kangaroo away.
We don't even have grid girls anymore. Yeah, you come over here, you go to the basketball, you go to the ice hockey, you go to your football, and there's cheerleaders.
Yeah,
which are no different than grid girls, right? But it's also as great as I would look in a bikini, I can't get up there and do it. I can't jump in and do 3 backflips while some guy throws me in the air and not kill myself in the process of doing it. Like, good on them. It is a skill. I mean, why not let them do what they enjoy? Because they're all enjoying it. It's a sport in its own right.
Yeah.
That goes to show you it's not about the act of it or the fact that girls are doing this. It's just when something has enough eyes on it and you rally the troops, like people make enough things, because there's a lot of things out there that still exist that are way worse than that happen every single day that nobody's shutting down, right? Even on a lesser scale, about how many nice country clubs out there that have beer girls, right? And good-looking beer girls to come around and sell beer, and they know exactly what they're doing. They're hiring specifically for that thing. And because just the guys that go play golf there have no problem with it, and it's not on social media for somebody to be like, I can't believe you're going to play golf to look at. There's lots of things that happen that way that it's nobody's on there that think their opinion matters so much as to put it on social media that riles everybody up, and then somebody's scared to be like, oh, you know what, we probably should just stop doing this.
But it's the same.
Are you ever going to let
go
that
get your
girl
own
that
beer.
you got denied for getting that cart job?
The beer girl job? Yeah, I mean, it's
apparently
an equal opportunity employer. It's apparently not.
They don't want elderly dudes that smoke cigarettes that are going to run around in the car. It doesn't sell. Like,
look, I'm sure there's at least one guy there who would enjoy it. Don't worry.
Like, nobody's going to buy a beer.
I got non-alcoholics in the back.
But it's the same in the automotive industry.
Called a circle back.
Everybody hells us or says you're ruining the planet or you're burning too much fuel or why would you modify your car to have it loud? And you have a look at a lefty put a video up where they're shit canning us for having a loud car driving down a main street or something like that, and everyone jumps on the bandwagon. Yet you put a video up of you driving down the main street in that car, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, whatever." Like, it's people just like a problem. People like drama. Mm-hmm. They like a problem. If you're busy, you do not like drama because you don't have the time to process it nor deal with it. If you're not busy, it gives you a hobby.
Yes.
And unfortunately, social media and everything just gives you social media didn't turn people into fuckwits. People were fuckwits before they had it. Now we just know who they are.
They also don't realize
you're dropping some serious facts tonight. No, I mean, just a lot of logic coming out tonight. I like it.
The amount that you push back on some of these specific hobbies or interests is feeding into the exact reason that these people are into these hobbies and interests, right?
Yep.
So the fact that you're saying, oh, that's too loud, I can't believe you're doing this, and you're doing this, this, and this, I mean, it comes into the 2A community too. And as soon as they say you can't have something, they're like, well, fuck, I wasn't really interested in having that. But now that everyone is saying I shouldn't have that, well, maybe that's something that I should pick up. Like, I kind of want that.
Back to how we started this podcast. It's like waving a red flag at a bull.
Yeah. I mean, the people from exhaust or whatever, you're like, oh, I'm kind of on the fence about, maybe getting exhaust. And then something goes viral, this exhaust is too loud and this Karen's going off and they're thinking about passing a new law about, noise. You're like, well, fuck, I guess I better buy that exhaust because
I don't know. Maybe
you're forcing people to do.
I might be getting old and I might be getting too opinionated because, like, these dudes running around with the BMWs that are just popping and fucking.
It's not my thing.
And the kids, they call it the burble tune.
Yeah.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, the burble tune.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that sounds like shit.
I was against that law until I heard a couple of them this weekend. You're like, yeah, I could kind of get behind it a little bit. Yeah.
The thing I agree with you. Not my thing at all. I lived.
I'm not outspoken about it.
I lived with one
on social media. But it's not my thing.
Not my thing. There's a lot of things in the automotive community that's not my thing. if they're choosing to modify, customize, and do something to be in this industry and in this as a hobby as opposed to other things, I'll give it a pass. And they're gonna come. They're gonna.
Why were you? Well, you say that, but you were so hard on those dudes with spoilers on their pickup trucks. Or like, because I brought it up, and then you were like, "Yeah, those are not."
You were. You went harder.
Yeah, no, I think you.
No, I'm pretty sure you went harder.
You think so?
Go back and look at the video. I'm pretty sure everybody knows. I mean, it didn't seem like we got called out a bunch on it.
I don't think so.
I think everybody kind of agreed.
Yeah.
And it was tongue in cheek.
It's like the old controversial thing of drag racing without setup or skill level, commonly known as roll racing.
Mm-hmm.
You either love it or you hate it. Not my jam, right? Like
Right.
I would rather the tech that goes behind actual drag racing.
Sure.
I'm still happy for them.
Yeah.
I still want to see them succeed. I still want to see them do what they do.
There's a greater likelihood that they will progress into a full-blown drag car
100%.
or do something in this industry if they do that versus not allowing them to do it.
But not
Because the
only
barrier
that-
of entry is either I own a full-blown drag car or I don't drag race.
But not only that, they're still supporting the automotive industry. It's still a
Buying
branch
parts,
of the
spending
automotive
money.
industry. But it comes back down to that thing of a lot of people, unless it's exactly what you want to be doing, they have a problem with it.
I
And-
can't stand squatted trucks.
Yep.
I can't stand it. It's probably one of my most hated things, right?
I did
Because
not
of
even know
the-
what that was until this trip and driving around
you
over
were,
here.
you
I
were
saw
in
a
the
bunch
heart.
of 'em in
You were in the
Tampa.
heart of it.
Yeah,
down
wow.
there,
They are
down south.
everywhere in Florida, hey.
Yeah.
It's from all. There's so many other different avenues in the automotive customizing culture that might not be my thing, but I can understand. I could get. I mean, like, okay, I could see why you would want to do that. The squatted truck, from all aspects, from a visual standpoint to I don't get it to I don't understand, all of it. I can't. It's my number one hated. Number one hated.
Yeah.
However,
It's a mod, dude.
it's
That's what they're into.
that 17-year-old kid, that 18-year-old kid that's, outside of Myrtle Beach with the white, Silverado with the white painted frame and the whatever that's cruising. He is into vehicles and he is into making something look, in his mind, custom, right?
Yep.
And changing it to his
Yeah.
thing. So you just gotta let it
Yeah.
fucking be. I don't like it.
Yeah. You do.
And I'm not
you know,
condoning it,
it's
but
a
it's
gateway drug.
I
customizing.
Yeah. I always sort of just have that stance. So like I'm willing to accept a lot, and I embrace it, and and I encourage it, and I like that. Not everybody's got a budget to do certain things, and everybody's trying to modify something. I just have a sort of a stance on if you're modifying it, do it for the betterment or the improvement of that vehicle. Either you're improving the aesthetic or you're improving the performance, right? So some things, I'm not going to be outspoken about it. Well, some things I will, but others, it's like, why'd you do it?
The
Right?
wonderful thing about this industry, though, there's heaps of things that we don't like or is not a thing that we would do to a car.
Yeah.
Yet you still don't carry on and
No, that's my-
and put people down and whatever. We support everybody from young kids who are trying to do this stuff in their garage, who are the next generation, right? They can't paint a car like you guys. They also don't have the skill set. Yeah, they've sprayed their car with rattle cans and they've done the body work themselves and they've learned what not to do.
Right.
Let's put it down that path. That guy's probably in 10 years going to be a gun spray painter because he got the passion from doing that. And we're all okay with that and we support it all. A lot of people think that high-end shops like ours want to look down and go, oh, no, you can't do this. This isn't good enough. That's not it at all. We want to see everyone doing their thing because it does progress to where we are now. They're the next business owners, the next shop owners. Somebody who does their own cam package at home or something like that and takes it to a shop to get tuned. That's a wonderful thing. You're actually getting hands-on with your car. Now, a lot of people don't like camshafts and think that they're too aggressive. Who cares? Like, he's happy.
Yep.
Good on him.
I think that the the key point of that, and like you said, you're not going to be outspoken. There's a lot of things that we just personally don't like. We all in this room don't like the same thing, even when it comes to stylistic input on a same model year car,
Or
right?
bikini models.
Or bikini models.
I think we all agree.
Josh's
Probably
face.
all got different taste in that too.
Yeah, but I think the concept we all agree on, right?
For sure.
Yeah, we're
For sure.
good.
The concept of bikini models were all as positive, right? No,
We're all on the board.
no. You see a lot in social media and brands and organizations. Take a hard stance, or you go down the path of this guy's modifying these things, and you go so far as to say they shouldn't be doing this, they should be doing this. This needs to stop, or this needs to be banned, or this needs to be outlawed. Sometimes tongue-in-cheek, sometimes real. They're saying they shouldn't be allowed to do this. Well, all you're saying is your way is the only way,
Yes.
right? And
Correct.
I think you can be very outspoken on something that you just don't like.
Yeah.
But you can't be outspoken on saying that they shouldn't be able to do that.
Yes.
I can
You're
say,
right. That's a good
I
point.
don't like the way that looks.
Yeah.
I vehemently think that's ugly.
Yep.
Yeah.
However, more power to you,
Yeah.
because my opinion doesn't mean shit. Your opinion doesn't mean shit.
Dude, that's exactly like the long bed comment. It's a fucking opinion, man. Like,
It's-
build the shit.
Nobody's saying
Dude,
don't build them.
Yeah, stretch the bed. Make it as long as you fucking want.
If you made it longer, it might get so long it's actually cool again. I'd be like, oh fuck, that's a long bed.
It's just not.
We
for
should have
me.
brought that up with Thomas from
Yeah,
Polarization.
it's just not for me. Like, but
Right.
and there's certain ones. Yeah, certain ones work.
but build a way.
Yeah.
It do
Yes.
you, as the kids used to say.
because
right?
nobody ever built anything great or set the world on fire by building something that everybody likes.
No.
or listening to somebody's opinion.
There's
But it's like back in Australia, and we're all really good friends with Rob from Rides by Cam. A lot of people would say, why would you spend so much money? Why would you build a car that way? Guy does a fucking amazing job.
Yeah.
But is it to everybody's taste? No, but can you pick on the workmanship? No, not at all.
Right.
Same with what we do. The workmanship's great. Would everyone want a race car with a roll cage that barely steers and likes to go straight?
Yeah.
You're in all of this
definitely
is
not,
pushing
but
the envelope.
it's-
You're wanting to get a reaction, positive or negative,
Yeah.
right? You want to be polarizing. You want people to gasp either in excitement or disbelief.
Correct.
That's the only reason any of this shit exists.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with like, music. There's all kinds of music choices out there. Somebody should not say, I don't like this type of music. You shouldn't listen to it, or they shouldn't make it because I don't like it. Same thing when it's with it, media and a chick in a damn OBS, right? Nobody should say you shouldn't do that. You should just say I don't like it. I don't like to look at boobs.
Well, it'd probably be best if you just don't say anything at all.
You shouldn't.
Just
I
move
understand.
past. Just
You-
move past it.
Touch your bottom lip to your top lip.
You
Shut the
should.
fuck up.
However, if all you have to say is, that's not for me, right? And if you got to make the wife happy, like if you got caught doing something and you're trying to show out that like I'm a good guy, I don't like boobs. Right? Okay, whatever. Give us the little winky emoji, right? I get it. You don't like them. We all like them, right?
What would Vinny say?
I missed that. That was over my head.
We're talking about
We can't say what he said.
We're talking about how easy it is to succeed these days with things just by working hard, right? Mm-hmm. It's also the day and age now where everybody sees what you do and everybody's trying to hide secrets still. Now, you guys have just opened your arms and taken me through your whole shop. And I have a lot of skill set where I can do things.
Yeah, but you said it was hard to get parts, though, so we're not worried about
But
it.
but you guys aren't going, oh, this guy's going to be competition. He's going to come and try and do this and everything. No, because we all have our own jam, right? But it's like half of my social media presence now, half of my thing with YouTube is I want to teach people what we've learned over the past. I want to teach them little things like we've got a Tech Tuesday thing on my socials, which it was actually my social media guy goes, you're doing a lot of cool stuff here. Why don't you just do little Tech Tuesday 60-second clips? And it's as simple as gapping a spark plug because back in the day, 10 years ago, we were chasing our ass trying to find misfires. And that's what it was. So teach people about that. Teach people about wiring. Teach people about tuning. Hey, this is how we set crank triggers up, or this is how we do this. Hey, this is how we set rear ends up. Or we've just done an episode on Top Fuel Racing and taken everyone through the pits of Top Fuel Racing because I go, a lot of people, although they watch all these things, they don't understand how they work. Now, I find that the more that they understand how they work, the more little things that they can fix at home, the bigger the car community gets. And look, just because you tell me how to make whiskey doesn't mean my whiskey's going to be any good, right? You can give me the recipe, but I can't do it.
That's right.
And we just need to realise that not everybody's a threat and stop seeing them as a threat. If we can educate the younger kids, if we can educate the older guys, if we can start just giving them little snippets on how we roll or what we do, and that's been a big thing in my social media presence, which I've had very good response on because it makes everybody happy. People might turn around and go, you shouldn't do it that way, but they can't say you can't do it. And that's back to opinion.
Yep.
So there is more than one way to castrate a cat as long as you don't get scratched.
Yeah, I agree with that. We do a decent amount of like little in-car review videos.
Yes.
And it's just like sort of just spewing all the knowledge that we've learned, the mistakes we've made, the things that might help somebody out, some recommendations. Take them, leave them. Some are right, some are wrong.
And shops don't get to our size by not making mistakes.
Right.
We have made all of them.
But it's free. It's free information, for to lift guys up, to help guys out, to help the home builder, to help a new shop. It's there's no sense in guarding that. What are you doing by guarding it? Right.
It's nothing at all.
Sort of bring it
to your point. We've screwed up more times than most other people, and
Yeah.
as long as you learn from them, and most of the things that like we deal with other shops, they've got advice on things that we're fighting, that we've got advice on things they're fighting.
Yeah.
Share that knowledge, and it makes the end product better, makes it quicker, cheaper for the customer, and gets you on the road quicker with a better end result.
100%. And I find that you learn by experience as well. And if my experience helps you, wonderful. Because if I've cocked this thing up that I was chasing an issue for 6 months trying to find something and then we finally found it and now you've got the same issue, why not save someone 6 months? You don't have to be best friends with them.
Yep.
You don't have to, but you don't have to be negative with them either. So it's the same as what you're saying. We've got a pretty good network back home where we're not in each other's pockets, but if you've got a problem, everyone talks. Every shop, every good shop in Australia talks to each other.
That's exactly how we are. We all share our wins and losses.
Correct.
Because it saves. If I can save a guy 100 hours of troubleshooting something because sometimes you chase some ghosts that end up being the most simple thing that the actual repair can be minutes.
Yes.
But it costs you 100 hours to identify
Change
it.
thousands of parts.
Yeah. If I can share that with a guy like who is experiencing the same thing, man, I would jump at the opportunity, and we do.
And it's even if it's from a selfish point that it gives you great satisfaction to be able to help that guy and sort his problem out too, because you know that when you hang the phone up, he's going, nah, he's not right, and then he's going to go and change that part, and he's going to go, fuck, he's a rock star. But yeah, that's a big thing for me is moving forwards. I like it how everyone can get together, help each other out, but reiterating that we've all made mistakes. We've all done things. The only way that we push the envelope, like talking to Brett Lasala on the weekend, the only way we get to where we are is because we've found the limits of things and we've pushed past them and we've found ways around them, or we've fixed things, or we've got bigger, or you can call them mistakes, limits, whatever you want to do. But now we can go through and repeat that process 100 times over for our customers and give them that outcome.
You have to find, I don't know how anybody does anything, drives a car, does any type of hobby, lives life without knowing what the limits are. Like, because then you're always going to be wondering, can I push a little harder? You have to find, that's my famous words, what's the worst that could happen? You have to find out what the worst that could happen is to know then how to dial it back. Because
from experience, they will tow it.
Sometimes
they will.
Sometimes, yeah.
It's not
in
like
those scenarios. If that is a question, the worst that could happen is they will tow it off that hill at Road Atlanta.
it's not like it's not
right
like,
off of it.
It's not like when your internals become externals that you can just take that 5-pounder boost back out of it and go again.
Right.
Like that's called a fuck up. Yeah. You found the limit of something.
Yeah. But it's you have to, you or somebody, the limits have to be pushed to figure out the guardrails.
That's what's got us to where we are in your industry, my industry. Everything is we're all pushing limits. And if there's one guy pushing limits, he gets to the point where he goes, I'm sick of fucking throwing money in the bin here because I'm the only one pushing limits and I'm already faster than everyone, or I'm already better. I've already got a better chassis than everyone. I've already got a better workshop than everyone. But as soon as someone else comes out and challenges that, mate, you are prepared to throw everything in the wind.
There's sometimes in life though, there's warnings already set, like in place. Somebody else has done the work for you to say this, like a gas gauge comes on and says, hey, I'm letting you know that this is the limit. You've reached the limit. It's time to get gas, right? There's a light that comes on, and now because people keep pushing it, now it says 60 miles.
You're just
50 miles.
You're trying to make Phil out to
40
be
miles.
like an innovator.
30. But I think he still is like,
a leader.
hey, you know what? I'm going to keep pushing it. Just, you know what? Turns out you can get an extra gallon. If you run it out an extra gallon, you can put an extra gallon back in it.
Similar comparison, he was running cars on a 3,000 horsepower rated dyno and had 3 cars that were over 3,000 horsepower.
They found you can do it.
You can do it.
Yeah. That was a conservative
But
rating.
it's like getting home at 2 o'clock in the morning and your wife looks at you out the corner of your eye. Like, you go, there's the limit. I'm right on the edge of this one right now.
Next time 3:30, see if she locks the door.
Is it her limit or mine? Let's find out. But yeah, we were running 3,000 plus horsepower cars on a mainline 3,000 horsepower dyno. Now everybody goes, oh, aren't you worried? No, not really, because you can steady state 3,000 horsepower. You can bring it up to 3,000 horsepower or 9,000 foot-pound of torque. So everything is, it's got a load cell on it. So everything is a derived thing from the torque amount, right? So you go, if you are not at 9,000 foot-pound of torque, then you're not maxing out the dyno. So at 3,780 horsepower, we were about 8,200 foot-pound of torque. Now, we could have made that a whole lot more by slowing down a ramp rate and trying to really steady state that, and we probably would have maxed the dyno out, but there's always a way around something.
What the fuck is making that power?
Some of our street cars.
Damn.
So at Summernats,
Grocery
we've got a thing
getters.
called Horsepower Heroes. Yeah. This is my 10th year of doing it, so we thought, why not throw a bit of a party? And I invited some good friends over and some people that have been coming to Summernats for years. And we did a thing on Saturday where we had entrance cars going, and we had 10 cars over 2,000 wheel horsepower. The last 3 cars all made over 3,500 wheel horsepower.
Jeez.
What engine based? Hemi-based engines?
They were all big block. They
Big
were all
block.
conventional big block. They were all twin turbo cars. And yeah, they were actually all controlled by Fuel Tech ECUs.
All that dyno stuff's that's fine if you reach in limit. Just don't put those big diesel trucks on it.
Oh.
Those things. That's
But that comes back to the torque.
More
For
catastrophic videos.
1,500
on-
horsepower, those things are making over 9,000 foot-pound of torque. Like,
Torque
yeah.
machines, dude.
It's just when those go, everything goes.
And you see the block split in
Oh,
half, and you
it's
see a piston
violent.
going over this way, and it's still in
cam
one piece.
comes out.
the
Looks like
dash is
day
out,
went
the
in.
steering wheel's out.
It
It's
is
just,
violent.
Yeah.
oh man.
I'm going to start using some of his terminology. I'm going to steady state load cell the gas gauge.
You have to spin a packet on it when you get there.
I can't laugh with that because I bought a Silverado 1500 when they first got released over with us, and I don't know what your gas gauges are like here in them things, but they get
They
to
got a built-in
What year?
safety.
What year
but
was
they
it?
get to half. It was a 21.
2021.
Yeah.
Okay.
They get to half, and then they go, "Psych, I'm empty." And mate, that thing, we were towing a trailer to Summernats one day, and so Summernats is 9 hours from my shop, and we've had a look and we've gone, oh yeah, we've got 80 k's to go. It's 50 k's until the servo. That's fine. No, we're 30 k's from the servo. The thing's ran out of fuel, and we've gone, shit. What do we do? We got a 12-metre long motorsport hauler behind us with a car in it and everything. We went, no, fuck it. So we just had to put methanol in it and drive it to the.
I don't know. I don't know
Literally
that
none
gen.
of that made sense to me.
I don't know that generation. I had a 2002 Silverado crew cab with a 6.0 in it.
Yeah.
And 2500, and that's the only one. I've had a couple of those generation trucks, but for whatever reason, that one was light on a quarter mile. It's empty.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
as soon as you got to watch it before like the light comes on. It's starting to get
Yeah.
down. You're like, ooh, ooh,
They
ooh.
do, dude. I mean, the legend trucks all run that era of 1500 Chevy gas tank, a product that we make.
Yeah.
Square body trucks, and the tanks are that way. You get down, it is a slow roll to the half tank.
Correct. 100.
500
And
miles
you're
to
like,
half.
I'm
Dude,
getting
I'll
great
drive-
mileage here.
Yeah, I will drive for a month
Yeah.
until that thing gets down to a half tank.
You got a
and
half
then
a day?
that, the
Then it
half
just goes
tank
brr.
down. I mean, the half to a quarter's still, kind of creeping. That last quarter,
It's got to be on the swing of the.
yeah, it's a factory GM, tank.
Oh, I'm
and
talking about even
sender,
from
so,
GM
yeah.
where it's at
Right.
and
Yeah.
or how the.
Yeah, we just then learn you get to half a tank, you stop. Like the fuel light's half a tank.
Oh man, we've reached standard question time. Standard questions, everybody's favorite. It's gonna be This is gonna be a little different. Standard questions. We're outside of our element a little bit. There's absolutely no guess on a vehicle. We don't even know what they're fucking called. We don't even know what the name. We generally on our standard questions. One of the questions used to be, "What was your first car?" and a story about that car. Right? We'd have the guest ask. Well, about halfway in to the second season, we started guessing what those cars were. So we wouldn't ask. You know,
We can play that game
We
if you
get a
want.
little. But
Well, we can play it, dude.
It's a Holden.
Not at all.
It's a tractor.
It's a kangaroo.
It's a cab over.
It was him and Mel Gibson, and they were in a
I can't javelin. I don't know cars. It was got to be a ute of some sort. Everything had ute. I mean, everybody had a ute, right?
Yeah, what's the ute deal down there? Like,
Well, I
put
guess
shit
the
in the
ute
back,
deal
it's
for us
fucking
is
El
a
Camino.
lot of people work out of their cars. So all of our tradies and like your electricians and plumbers and all those kind of people, they work out of the back of their cars. So they've all got utes, and all of the farmers have utes. And yeah,
why not just a pickup truck?
We never have had the option of pickup trucks.
Nobody building them.
have the sprinter type vans taken over by you, or do you guys not have?
No, we've got some smaller vans like Ford Transits and stuff like that, which are really handy for. I guess a lot of tradies use them now, and plasterers, painters, all that kind of stuff. Parts delivery.
Y'all have never had Camaros down there?
Yes, we did. I actually bought build number 1 when the ZL1s come in.
So 5th gen Camaro.
Yes.
Nothing before that.
Nothing before that.
Australia just seems like a really third genny place.
Yeah.
Like a.
Yeah.
Can you see a lot of
It's good.
We've only just got Corvettes.
It's got a Mad Maxy look about it.
third gens would
Yeah.
fit. You know what a third gen Camaro, right?
Yeah.
That
We've-
seems like it'd fit right in down there.
We've only just got C8 Corvettes over, and as I said, the Yukon is the latest thing to come over. Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of American stuff there unless it's been imported. There's a massive Tri-5 following over there, as you would know. So 55, 6, and 7 Chevys.
Is that mainly because of the hood height, what you could fit underneath them? Like
No, it's
blowers
just that is the ideal American car that everybody wants.
Screams
Between that
American.
and a 68, 69 Camaro and a Chevy Nova, I reckon. They're some of
They get a
the.
lot of wealth over there, obviously.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
That's where all the Novas went. That's why they're not a lot left to be found.
They're probably the bigger ones that everybody imported by themselves, put them in containers, bought them over. But as per a factory release vehicle, we got 5th gen Camaros, and then we got the C8 Corvettes now, and a couple of pickups have just started coming in 2020.
It's been a while since we've. Go ahead.
do you get hit with big import tariffs or fees on older 50s, 60s cars?
We do. They've made it a little bit easier now, but it used to be pretty hard to get them in. So, but even getting them in a container and over is 11,000 Australian dollars. So then you've got import duties if you're keeping them. A lot of people will strip them out and bring them over as parts. Ends up being a lot cheaper, but you've just got to find a way to have them registered.
I'm gonna forego guessing on the car. We're just gonna ask you a story.
We're gonna Google the car too, so we know what that
What was the first car and a story about the car?
I feel like I should lie about this.
What was
'cause
the
if you-
flying thing that
if
the
you
little kid and the
Google
old
what my
man had in Mad Max? Remember the flying thing that had to go?
If you Google what my first car was, it was a pretty funny looking thing. When I was 15, I built an XF Falcon. And
That's like a Torino looking thing, right?
no, it's not. It's like a cigarette packet with wheels.
What year?
That's a good description, dude.
What year?
I can't even remember what the
Cigarette
year
packet
was
with
of
wheels.
it, but I built one and I was 15 and I painted the thing myself. I did it with acrylic in a carport and wet sanded between every coat, and it actually come up all right for what it was.
And they did it as a ute too. It looks
They
like.
did do it as a ute as well. That was slightly more ugly than the sedan. And if they've got any interior photos of them there, you'll see why they weren't the most popular thing. But I ended up putting a turbo on it, and that was the first car that I ever turboed and converted to EFI and had some fun with. And then I went down the path of V8 stuff. So that looks like an XE that you're looking at the moment.
XD
Look at that
XTF.
steering wheel. Did you see that?
Yeah, so that's an XF there.
That's just like a no options vehicle right there.
Yeah, they were. They were a very basic thing. Now you look back and the XE ESPs.
Turbo crossflower.
Yeah, so they're called a crossflow because you've got inlet one side, exhaust the other side. So this is one of our articles here, obviously.
This is a
Fox
four-door
body.
Fox body.
Yeah,
Fox
it's got a
body
lot of
rear.
Fox
So
body going on
these
the
are
back.
only just starting to get a following now. So in the last probably 5 years, since COVID, I would say, XDs, Es and Fs have now started to pick up a cult following. If you can get an ESP, they are worth a bunch.
Dude, tell me about that's a barrow motor in that.
No, that looks like the factory cross flow out of that. So inlet one side, exhaust the other, but it's got the slanted rocker cover on it. So.
I don't want to get wildly off topic, but I'm like,
so there's still a push rod 4 liter.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Those barrow motors, though, like I'm interested in. I'd love to put one in something. You guys fuck with those much?
All the time.
I think
they're amazing.
Rowdy, right?
Yeah, yeah. We just finished off a guy's Fox Body Mustang that has a barrow in it, and that come up really well. And he now does conversion kits and sells them back over here for Fox Bodies.
I mean, you make a couple thousand horsepower pretty easily on that, right?
You can make 1,000 very easily, like our Lessers, and then the very gets dropped off that easily topic, and, and it starts getting a bit more difficult.
Okay.
But you keep them under 1,300 wheel, and they're really not a bad platform. So just a piston and rod deal will do that. Okay. To make a couple of thousand, you're looking at billet.
Yeah.
Really to keep them alive, you go with a billet block and all that kind of gear.
It's just so odd.
Yeah.
It looks Eastern European.
You think that's odd?
It's like we just needed to make a car. Who's got the car parts to build the car? We have some headlights.
Type in my second car, which was a VN Commodore.
I like the name. Yeah, dude, that's the SA. That's the Taurus. That's what you were asking about. That's the Taurus body style.
That had a 5.0 in it.
That's a VN Commodore. Yeah, it had a 5 liter. I ended up twin turboing that.
That's what I was talking about there.
Yeah, so that's a VN VP Commodore.
Yeah, now we're talking. Now we're getting into this style.
Yeah,
we're getting a little probe-like.
It's got a little Saturn, like
the flat top on the back.
Something about it. Yeah. It's not beautiful. It's like there's nothing.
It's like a trunk on the trunk with a trunk on top of it.
And then I used to, when I was a kid, I used to go to the bus. I used to go to school on a bus because I was so far out of town, and we used to drive past this car every day. And there was a VK Barocci, like a blue Meanie. And I looked at that and I always wanted that car. I said, if I ever make it in life, I'm going to build one of them.
Blue Meanie?
Yeah, Blue Meanie is what they're called.
From that's the factory?
That's a factory, yeah. Yeah, they were called a Blue Meanie. So you type in All Show VK. And that is the VK that I ended up making. So that's a Blue Meanie.
Damn.
That is my styling. That's what I built.
Again,
that car...
It's a Fox body, dude.
Yeah, they look similar, don't they? They look like a 4-door Fox body.
Looks a little Thunderbird front.
So that car there runs bottom sevens at nearly 200 mile an hour.
Holy
gets
shit.
street driven everywhere. It's sitting at my house at the moment, full of dog hair and sand.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was one of the ones that we started having some fun with.
I mean, the quarter window and the quarter panel. That's
a Fox body.
Fox body.
Yeah, it's all Fox body. The trunk, the deck, that whole thing's
even
Fox.
the fender profile. And
everything's Fox except the passive door.
Yeah.
and it's the right length. You pull that back door out and squish it together, and you got a Fox body, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
Click on that undercarriage shot. What do we got going on there?
Yeah, so it's got a couple of turbos underneath it, and that car makes about 2,500.
I wonder how much we'd have to extend the Fox body spec chassis to go underneath one of these. Yeah. We need to figure that out.
Got some tubular subframe connectors in there. It's a unibody deal.
What the first car, what's the most memorable story in your first car?
Nothing really.
Okay.
It was the build of it that was good for me. As soon as I built that car, I actually left home and ended up selling it. So I never really got to do anything in it. I was too young to really drive it or anything like that. But for me, it was all about the build. That's all I was interested in. And once that was done, I had nothing else to do with it.
Next up, rapid fire. What is your favorite car movie?
Gone in 60 Seconds.
I think that is far and above a winner.
It's got to be.
It was winner as of like 80 episodes ago, and it's really came on strong as of late. I don't disagree. It's a great movie. I'm gonna have to. I haven't watched it in a while.
I did recently, maybe about 8 months or a year ago.
Yeah,
watched it. It's good. It's a great. It's just an entertaining movie. I mean, it's probably Nick Cage's best performance
Oh, I don't know about that.
It just doesn't have all the
Con
bullshit
Air.
thrown into it, trying to convince you
Con Air.
that cars are something. That they're not.
It's not like that goofy. There's nothing. The cars aren't doing weird stuff, right?
See,
It's kind of
A
believable.
fastback Mustang doesn't have 173 gears.
Yeah,
Like it's,
yeah, like bullet.
Next up, your most memorable law enforcement interaction story.
to do with cars or
Just
in
the fact to
general.
do with law enforcement and your interaction with them.
my most memorable would be the aftermath of being put in the back of one of our paddy wagons and then being pepper sprayed. That sticks with you.
When you're in the paddy wagon,
When
you get
you're in
pep-
the back of it.
It seems like they've already got you contained.
Yeah. No, you keep your mouth shut
gotta
when you go
settle
in there. Yeah. You keep
Give,
your
give
mouth.
us the bullet points of that night.
Oh, that night was just a funny old night where it was more mistaken identity, I guess you can say, and it was just a rowdy.
You mistook who they were.
No, it was a rowdy moment out the front of a pub. And yeah, I ended up getting grabbed and getting thrown in there, and I should have kept my mouth shut, and I fucked around and I found out real fast.
Won't do that again, right?
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
That sucks.
Yeah.
You already got me.
Oh, they had me after that.
Yeah. Yeah, they really had
Yeah.
you. Let's see where we're going with next. Best piece of advice you ever heard.
As I said before, if someone can outwork you, you got a problem. Let them out-talk you. Never
Yeah.
let them outwork you.
It's good.
That's kind of where I've lived my life. I always knew I was generally the stupidest one. So
Yeah.
You just knew you weren't that hard of a worker,
And-
so you out-talked them.
And the
no,
one
I
that
just,
what you're
I just
doing?
outwork everybody.
and the one that goes with that is actions speak louder than words.
She would have not come back.
You could get both, dude. You're the total package. You can work hard and talk good.
Can I?
Yeah.
You're nice.
It's a compliment.
Still wish you wouldn't
It's a
come back.
compliment.
And convince your wife you don't like boobs, apparently.
That ship sailed.
He just bought her. He just bought her a new pair.
Yeah, she knows. She knows.
Obviously,
I'm
She
likes
knows
them.
how much you
Yeah.
like boobs now.
she knows I'm really into them.
Was that one of those things where she didn't want them, so you just kind of put her to sleep anyway? Or
No,
Just take a few of these, sweetheart.
yeah, I'm not sure I want to do this. No, we do.
Oops. Next up, let's see. We're changing up. We haven't gone to Old Faithful because we've put that one to rest.
Which is Old Faithful.
Burt and Stallone.
Yeah.
That one's kind of.
But the one I enjoy the most lately is the car build.
Yep, 100%.
It's great. It's a great question.
So you have an unlimited budget. You can build any vehicle you want, but you're going to pay somebody else to build it. So you're going to tell us who's building it and what car.
It's a hard question. You got me.
It is a
You've got me.
difficult one. It's a rare opportunity.
You've got me. I would say if I am building something in Australia that is for a street car, it would be a 69 Camaro. Or we can only pick one. It would be a 69. And I would get probably Rob from Rides by Cam to do it. Just because of his attention to detail in that show car era is wild.
Turbo?
The top fuel fucking nitro motor.
I think that car would just be a blow-in thing because that would be a street car, right? Whereas if you go down another alley, it would be a HKTG frame rail car, which I would probably send to someone like the guys at Impress Race Fab over there and get them to do a proper pro street race car. But they're the two cars that I would always like. And that would be big block twin turbo, all the fruit.
Otherwise, Camaro roots blower,
All the fruit.
like old,
100%.
old school kind of.
Hop in, turnkey, drive, aircon, like what you guys built here.
Okay.
We
Like
have
LS,
such
Whipple,
poor
big
dialect.
block. What are we?
Look, I think you would have to, something like that, you would have to go big block, right? Big block with like a nice Whipple on top of it, good EFI on it, so it was just start key, run, flex fuel, make a bit of grunt if you want to.
You got to do a twin plug at that point.
Would you?
I'm asking. I mean, how much power are you talking about?
You would only need 2,000, right? That's not a whole lot.
If you're going to build it, well, you talked about all these other guys that have made 3,000.
Yeah, but
you're
you
going to
can't
stop
drive it
it
on the street with that.
Is that metric 2,000 or standard?
But you make 2,000 out, and try to make 2,000 out of a PD blower. Like it's almost kind of out of its realm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you just go, if you went something pretty simple like that, it would drive, it would have aircon, it would just do everything you want it to do.
Yeah.
Cruise control, drive by wire.
That'd be fun.
We might have something like that coming up pretty soon.
As long as it's blue, it would be cool.
Yeah, we like blue.
Everything's got to be blue.
You like to be
We
giving secrets away.
Yeah, I get a lot of shit for painting everything blue.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Everything I own is blue. My Capri.
There's so many, there is other colors. Blue's great.
Blue's nice.
When we built my Capri,
There's-
we put this thing up online, and it was kind of getting the hype because that was unveiled at Motorex, which is another Summernats event, and it was getting unveiled there, and they did this whole, what colour do you think it's going to be? And everyone's guessing, and I got so many messages going, what shade of fucking blue are you going?
When they sell a box of crayons, they sell them by the box. They don't sell a single.
Yeah.
It's not like you get a blue crayon. It's like this is the only color. There's all kinds of colors.
Yeah, blue's just a good one, dude.
Yeah. Blue's always the one that gets worn down first because the others just come after it.
Yeah, marina blue. Like, yeah, any of your like 60s, 70s muscle cars.
No, I understand, but when you have
blues.
when you have such a large body of work, sometimes it needs to start differing.
Yeah,
Right.
we've painted things all kinds of different colors. Just more of them blue.
Light blue, dark blue, medium.
Different
Metallic
shades
blue.
of blue.
Metallic,
solid blue.
non-metallic.
A lot of solid blues lately.
Have we done a satin yet?
Not satin blue. No. Tends to look purple.
Next up, last but not
Oslo
least,
blue.
you're just naming blues. I get it. They're all blues.
I thought it was the game we were playing.
Last but not least, let's see. We're gonna, because we can't do our standard, we're gonna deviate. What is the most annoying thing that a non-Australian asks you or thinks is funny to say? I'm sure I probably did 2 or 3 of them.
Do you guys ride kangaroos?
Oh, that's stupid.
I've had that quite a few times while I've been
Really?
here. Yeah.
Hey, those things have some fucking
If you're gonna-
talons on them. Like, you don't fuck with
I don't know whether it's because I think you are
don't fuck with a kangaroo.
you are fucking silly for asking that question, or why the fuck haven't I tried that?
There's just so much
I don't
better.
know, I don't know what part of
There's
it.
so
I'm
many
not
more
happy about.
creative things to come up with, though. That's a pretty stupid one.
Yeah, we get asked that a lot.
If you've ever seen a kangaroo, it's not made for riding.
No.
No, and they're aggressive, aren't they?
You fucking
Oh, yeah.
kangaroo.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
propaganda. That is. Have you ever seen one?
Yeah, look
Dude,
at
they're
they
like
have-
3 foot tall.
No, they have fucking.
all in-
Dude, they
they've
have
got a talon.
talons on
They've
them.
got a
Yeah,
talon
that thing
on their
will
back
rip
foot,
you
so
the
they
fuck
sting.
open.
But these don't.
Yeah, but
they're
they
not
get up on you. They grab you at
Yeah,
these.
no,
and
Yeah,
just get
they
up.
grab
Like,
you with their top arms. And
Yeah,
they,
they'll
That's
fuck
all.
you up.
That's fucking Aussie propaganda. I'm telling you, that's horseshit. There's never been a fatal attack by
I guarantee you there has. I
kangaroo
guarantee
on a
you
human
there
being.
has, dude.
No, not real.
I'm
not real.
sure there has been.
They're not as big as they make them out to be in the
Yeah, but
videos.
there's
Tell me
fatal
that when you hit one at 80 mile an hour and you got no fucking car left.
Is that
Oh,
like
the
hitting
deer
a-
do that too.
Was
We
that
hit
like hitting
all
a
the
deer?
time.
Is that a thing?
Oh, yeah,
like
100%.
people crank them.
Oh, but they just hop off. Like they just
Do they
hop
really?
away. Oh man, they're bad. And they'll be hopping beside the road, and they go, "I'm going this way," and they just jump straight out in front of you, and the damage they cause is next level. But you were right. They stand up on their tail, and what they do is they grab you with their hands, and then they cut your stomach. Like they disembowel you with their.
I've Googled this before.
Yeah.
Who's gonna fight one?
Yeah, I know a thing or two about this situation.
I don't doubt it. What they hunt kangaroo?
They do. We cull them
With
pretty
cars.
much. Yeah, we cull them pretty much because there's an issue, or they're just overpopulated in areas.
It's invasive.
So they come in and they destroy all the farms and all that kind of gear. So there is certain places that they are culled and hunted.
Good.
So,
It's got to be a nice little game to hunt there.
but as we said,
That's a
people
sizable
eat them. But most
creature.
most of the guys that do hunt them use them for dog food.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
So
not-
they don't.
It's just not
there's a-
quality meat.
Oh, it's very lean and it's very hard to cook. And we've got cows. Like we're not.
Why do you
we're
need
not we're
kangaroo?
not
we
cavemen.
hunt. We
We've
do
got
a
the
lot
best
of.
meat there.
We do a lot of deer hunting. I mean, I don't, but in the States, and it's people love venison.
But a lot of people we don't get a whole lot of deer back home.
Just lean meat.
Yeah, but everyone's resourceful at home, so they don't like wasting anything. If you're going to take a life, then you may as well use it. So if it goes to feeding the dogs and they're hunting dogs and all that kind of stuff, well,
What kind of guns can't have a lot of guns?
we
down
can't
there, right?
carry them.
Boomerangs.
Yeah, boomerangs and big sticks. No, we can't carry guns. We're not like you guys where our gun laws allow that. If you've got a gun license, you can have a firearm. It's got to be stored in a gun safe, separate than ammunition. You can only go out and shoot in certain areas. You can't shoot on Crown land or anything. You have to be able to, if you're on public land, you have to have written.
There's still Crown land?
Yeah.
I thought y'all are your own thing now.
No, so it's called Crown land, which is like some of our reserves and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
It's
It's not the actual
So
Crown.
It's just basically owned by the government or whatever. So some of the bush blocks and all that kind of stuff we call Crown land.
Y'all should have just let that shit to England. Let them worry about it. Y'all the one that said, "No, we want to be our own deal. We want to be our own deal." Oh, we did too, but we took it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all negotiated it. We fucking won it. That's the difference.
I'm getting shit here. You guys are called the United States of America, and I don't know two states that fucking get along.
Yeah, we
So
have,
I don't know what's real united about this
none.
joint.
As
Yeah,
long
it's
as you're
not-
not
that's-
neighboring states.
That's a
you're
good call,
Yeah,
dude.
okay.
It's not really united, is it?
No. It's, dude, 250 years.
I'll go back to my
while.
island where we hate everyone equally. It's fine.
It was a great idea 250 years ago. We've outgrown most of it. Too many fucking people.
Yeah.
Too many fucking people. Way too many.
There is a lot of
We're
people
gonna-
over here, and that's the
We're
difference.
going to go down
You-
that road now.
You have a
That's
look at
the answer to
how many
everything.
people are around here versus one of our big cities doesn't even come close to you guys. Our population is far less, and then not only that, but the land that we have in between our cities and towns and everything that is just nothing.
So much nicer. That would be so much better. Because there's just too many people.
There is a lot of people here.
And it's, you can say it, too many. It's fine. Everybody knows it. Am I wrong?
You are not wrong, dude. I just got back from traveling. A lot of time in the airport.
You have to admit, more than 90% of the people that you come into interaction with while traveling out in public serve zero purpose. The only purpose they're serving is to serve the purpose of the other person that's down the line. And if both of those people didn't exist, neither one of them would need to exist. Because this guy's only purpose is to serve the other fucking idiots that are doing their stupid shit.
There's also something when you look at somebody, and it normally happens in airports, and you go, you were the strongest sperm. I would hate to see the others.
The airport will show you that. That'll
Yeah,
make you
very
question
I think all the
kinds
others
of
are
things.
at the
Or surround, yeah. Siblings.
That's where they...
Yeah, siblings.
Yeah.
It's everybody's first time at an airport.
Oh, man.
Every time you go.
I mean, I'm not going to bag on TSC too much right now, especially with what they're going through and working for no checks for free.
Yeah, I heard about
They
that when I
don't-
come over in November.
They don't exactly make things easier on the traveling population,
don't.
and they love to. It's TSA and Good Guys Local Car Club checking your passes coming into the Good Guys show.
Dude.
That is the level of.
I'd love to be in that pregame speech.
I just dealt with quite the situation.
Tell you what today is.
I came off of a multi-day cancellation and delay.
Laptop, no laptop.
So I'm flying, just me and my wife, no kids, so she gets the privilege of traveling with me, which
They don't
it's like
like
a
that
switch
much.
goes off as soon as I enter the airport, and I just turn into the biggest asshole, according to my
efficient.
wife.
You're trying to be efficient.
And that's what I told her. She's like, you are the worst person in the world to travel with, because we had some words. We had a little bit of an argument because she did something that I strongly oppose, in that it's like all of a sudden it's time to board the plane, and she's like, okay, we're getting on the plane, and I'm like, hey, there's lines, there's boarding groups, you can't go that way. But no, we're getting on the plane. Like, there's fucking boarding groups, there's lines. She disagreed with me, and she felt that like she just was in a position where you could walk right through. I'm like, all right, you do your thing. But
she tried to cut boarding lanes?
and she did.
Oh,
right?
no.
So I'm
And
like,
she got through?
Yeah, I'm like, you
Did
realize?
you go with her?
I'm like, if Josh were here,
Oh, no, you don't do that.
If Josh were here, he would have fought you, right?
You don't do that.
Would have 100% fought you.
It's the only thing that separates us from the animals.
Yeah.
Because we have rules.
But she had an absolute fit just about my behavior in there. But it's a behavior that is modeled on complete efficiency, because you want to move through there
Like
as
water.
fast. Yeah.
Like
Just
Bruce
like
Lee.
fucking Bruce Lee, dude.
Yep.
just like water.
I love that you're saying this, and if I had my hat, I would take it off to you right now, because every time I come to America, I say to anyone I talk to, I fucking love Americans. I love the fact that you guys self-regulate. I love that you guys go, I have eaten off of that plate. I am no better than that guy. I'm going to put it in the bin because nobody else needs to follow around after me.
Right.
I love that you go and have a shit and it makes it into the toilet, not the floor next to it. I love that.
Y'all have trouble with that?
Oh, dude, I love that nobody is pissing all over toilet seats.
We might be hiring a bunch of Australians, it looks like.
To find a clean
Start
toilet
checking.
seat in a public toilet at home is hell. Over here, they're all clean. They're all good. Everybody is putting their hand towel
take
away.
it for granted then.
Everybody is just doing the right thing. You bump into someone here, as we said before, and they say, oh, sorry. Like, at home, it's, no, they want to punch on for it. It's, everyone here is just happy to follow the rules and realise that if you don't follow the rules, there's fucking chaos, right? Whereas at home, you go, oh, boarding groups, this and that are getting up. And it comes down to, but what about me? No, you're boarding group 6. You have a number. That's fine.
Yeah, it's it's just down the line.
But how come they get in before I do? Because they paid more. But how does that... That's class structure. That shouldn't work. Shut the fuck up and get on the aeroplane when you're called.
Yeah.
Like, it just makes it easier. Whenever I come to America, you guys do that so well. You guys just follow the rules, do the right thing, and smile while you're doing it.
Well, I think we do.
And that's one thing
But
I
the
love
rest-
about it.
The rest of the
I don't think we're going to
Americans,
go to
know, dude.
Australia. We'll lose our
We-
shit.
Oh, yeah.
We're hypersensitive to all of the
Stories I've heard about Josh earlier, I keep this guy away from Australia.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he might have a really good law enforcement story for us as well.
what's the worst that can happen? Been there, done that. No, the point of the win or the goal of a good travel experience would be to completely enter-exit your ingress, egress, your entire travel experience to be where you inflicted zero.
You don't affect anybody
You don't
else.
affect anybody else. Where if something were to happen and they came back and they started interviewing people of like, hey, did you see a guy that looked like this? Blah blah. Nobody would be able to identify you because
You just
flowed. You flowed. You just had. Nobody had to pause for you. Nobody had to wait for you. You didn't have to say I'm sorry. You didn't have to say this. You just happened to be. You flew on. You got onto the airplane. You put your things where they needed to be, and you were of absolute no consequence to anybody at all.
The only person I want to remember me when I travel is the one that you gave a compliment in a good way.
Yes.
Anything else, I want no one to know I was there.
Yeah.
Just
It is
follow
a-
the rules, just walk through, just sit down.
There's even a case to be made for like the over friendliness, like the niceties, because that's too much too.
Yeah.
You could be
Like
inflicting.
I just experienced
Shut the
that
fuck
too, and I'm
up,
like,
dude.
yeah, I'm like, listen, I've been fucking delayed. Like I don't want to talk. You don't need to talk to me. Just fucking sit there again. It's like you're disrupting the flow.
Oh, dude, I went out for lunch. I'm traveling with a friend of mine at the moment, and I went out for lunch the other day, and it was a barbecue place in Florida. And we sat down, and this guy, no shit, sold us 3 of his children and half his house and invited us to live with him. Nah, he was just overly friendly to the point where he's telling us how amazing this food is, and I've got you, this is amazing. And I'm like, I really don't need this friendliness. Like, this is too much.
Yeah.
And it was the worst fucking barbecue I've ever eaten. And I was too scared to tell the guy. And he's like, oh, you guys full. And we left literally 3/4 of the plate. And it was like, no, it's fucking shit. But you just pay the bill and you get out of there. And we've been laughing about it since, going, wow, that over friendliness. I would have rathered someone rude.
Yeah, just
Isn't it fun? Yeah, you just got to be right in the middle.
Yeah.
be right in the middle.
Yeah.
That's true for everything.
It is. Just be.
Take the middle and
The thing everybody's got to realize is everybody's got their own shit going on.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So just do your thing, and then when you have to interact with another human, you do it in the most efficient and normal way possible. You can be friendly and say the shit that you were taught in grade school, right? Standard. Please, thank you, yes ma'am, no ma'am. Simple as that. All that. You don't have to do any of the other kinds of things.
The point I spaced out because what I was trying to get at was the fucking point I was trying to make is, we talked about the laptop in, laptop out, shoes on, shoes off, right? There's always
Changes
that
by the hour.
like
And you get yelled at either way.
let's fucking standardize some things for the sake of efficiency. The other one that we can never seem to standardize is, are we showing boarding passes or are we just showing IDs? Right? Do we need them both? Yeah. So, because then you got to pull.
You're the idiot either
right.
way.
And then it's like, sir, the boarding pass. So, and I try to monitor it all and I make sure all my things are apart and I'm ready to go. So this one coming in, right? I already had this conversation. My wife's yelling at me the whole time because she's like, why do you get so worked up about this? Like, because it's fucking stupid. Either it is just, it's like you get pulled over, you show them your fucking ID.
Right.
Your ID and your insurance card. You don't like give them a shoe. Right? That's just the
no, today we're taking your shoes.
It's like, oh, guess what? Oh, you need my hat too? Okay, right. Here's my hat. Like,
yeah.
Let's standardize it. So there's these massive fucking lines because everything in the entire state, in the whole lower half of the United States, flights were canceled. Travel's fucked up. Airports are a disaster. I get through the security line and I get up there and I hand the dude, and I'm prepared with both of them this time. License, and here's boarding pass, digital boarding pass, right? And the guy looks at it and he's like, mm-mm. I'm like, what do you mean, mm-mm? And he's like, yeah, we ain't taking digital ones today because flights have been canceled and stuff. So, yeah, you're going to have to get a printed copy. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to tell you right now that it was a Josh moment. I'm like, that's not fucking happening. So, like, because I'm already fucking fuming.
You just made it through the line.
Yeah. And I'm like, not fucking happening, dude. So ask somebody. Are you?
It's on the
who's
app,
your
dude.
superior?
It's on the app.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, it's a fucking boarding. And I'm like, and Lindsay's clamming up because like that will send me over the edge. Yeah. We will end up. That's going to be a best police story, right? Law enforcement interaction. And then, dude, it went from ridiculous. Grabs his superior. He comes over and he looks. He's like, I don't know. I mean, I think, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to go back and get in line. I'm like, dude, I'm not fucking getting in line. Scan the motherfucking boarding pass. Scan the fucking boarding pass. And then he's like, well, we could try it like this. Like, dude, I just watched you scan a fucking 100 boarding passes. Scans the boarding pass. He's like, oh, I guess it works. Like, did you realize you would have just fucked my entire day up because I'd have missed the flight, waited in line for 3 hours. It's
not going to happen.
While we're talking about airports, the other thing they cannot standardize, every airport I've ever been to, do you leave your laptop in the bag or you fucking take it out?
Yes.
Like why do you need to take it out? What's the point of taking everything out of your bag, your cables out of your bag when they're scanning all this shit anyway?
They have nothing to fuck with you or change up the thing. The whole point is to change the pattern so they can see how people down the line react. They see if you fuck up.
I have 2 laptops and an iPad in my bag whenever I travel because I take my tuning laptop because I'm normally traveling for work, and I take my MacBook because I'm normally doing book work and stuff with it or video stuff, and I take my iPad because I don't like being bored. And because there's 3 things in there, it'll always come through, and then it gets that thing and you see the little arm come out and you go, fuck, this is going to take ages now, isn't it?
Yep.
Pushes it over to the other side. And then you have to go and explain yourself on why you have 3 devices in your bag. Or you get there and they go, take everything out. And you're like, no, 1 per tub. What do you mean? Last time at the airport, I could put all 3 laptops in. No, 1 per tub. You get to the other end, you got 6 tubs coming through. You're like, dude, why can't it just be easier?
And then if you leave everything in, you get yelled at for taking it out.
Correct.
Yeah, it's everything in. Well,
you're a complete ass.
Yesterday it was. Yeah.
I got singled out. I'm waiting, and I move as efficiently as you can through there. And right about the time my wife gets done screaming at me to stop bitching about the person in front of me that I said is carrying too many personal belongings, and there should be a limit on how many personal belongings you have because it should only take you seconds to unpack, and you should get 1 bin. And then they single me out. They pull me out of the line, and they're like, sir, step aside. I was a random screening. So they randomly screen me for my shoes. They swipe your shoes. Like, we just made shoes legal. Shoes are okay now. Okay, shoes are not lava. Shoes are okay now. And then they swipe my shoes and they put them in the little fucking bomb thing to make sure that there's no explosives in it. But right before that, I just watched a family send a whole send a whole.
Probably went off like a fucking rocket.
Yeah. No, dude, there were no triggers, no flags.
Okay. I've just come back from Vegas. I walked through some shit. Don't worry.
Yeah, I watched them send a whole fucking stroller through. Like, they just take the stroller.
Stroller's fine.
And I'm like, dude, if I were gonna blow something up, do you know how much shit you can cram in a stroller? All the tubes inside of it.
wouldn't
all
walk
the
on my
fat,
shoes.
Like, I'm not gonna put it in my fucking shoes. Are controversial, right? Like
The worst. To sum it up, and then we're gonna wrap it up. But to sum it up,
I
you
just
have
get ready-
heated topic.
you
It's-
have
it's a difficult topic.
you have a group a minority, albeit a group of people that are good travelers. We would be in that group of good travelers that try to be like water, don't inflict any of your own shit on somebody else. And there's a group of people out there that, like, 'cause we see them, we come into contact with them, rare, but you do see
come
them.
into more contact with them.
Yeah. And so those people can roll. So you have those people that are used to traveling all the time. Then you have the group of people that it's always their first time, right? Those groups of people inflict harm on everyone else because they cause hassle and harm. The problem is the TSA just likes to screw everything up all the time and change it up. So the people that have never traveled before are just fucking things up because they can't do shit right. Then the people that have done it before are now trying to gain the system, but the TSA changes it every single day. So when you say, "Oh, yesterday," I don't care what yesterday was. Today you're putting the laptop on your head. Carry it on your head, balance it on your head. Let me see you walk 3 steps, balance it on your head. Okay, now good, you've passed that test. Now on to something else. It is complete and utter chaos.
Then you've got the third ones, who are the ones who complain about your loud exhaust, and they sit behind you and they knee your seat the whole time you're moving, and then they press the button and complain.
they get
this guy's leaning back in his seat. Why
they
is he
don't
doing
do that for long. They don't do that for long.
They
theory
do.
behind
But have you
that.
noticed how they're never the ones who get in trouble? It's always us for
Well-
our reaction.
But the problem is you
It's your own fault.
need to take
Right.
you need to take
You need to
responsibility.
take initiative.
When that happens, the first knee, you give them the benefit of the doubt. It's an accident. The second knee, all right, you're getting a little rowdy back there. The third knee, you give them a look. If it happens after the third knee, then there needs to be a talking to, right?
Yep.
There needs to be
and that's when the
Right.
flight attendant gets called, and this guy, he's
Yeah.
picking
well,
on me.
you got to think you can't.
What was it, 23?
2023 was the time.
2023.
If you ask them what the fuck's wrong with them.
We enacted this. This was going to be...
It was the year of
The year of
2023.
letting
It
them
was
know.
our contribution to the world, right? And we decided collectively between the three of us that this kind of shit we weren't letting go.
Wouldn't
So
stand for it.
we were going to just immediately call it to somebody's attention. And it gets super confrontational, but the outcome is it's a betterment for society because
We solved it for all of 2024, pretty much worldwide.
it's uncomfortable in the moment.
Last year it started getting a
They're
little hairy
probably
again.
not going to do it again.
Things get heated, but when that guy knees your seat the second time, okay, the third time, and you turn around and you give him the, hey, that fucking shit's gonna fucking stop now. Like, dude, he's gonna think the next time he's gonna kind of scooch up a little bit, and those knees are
There's
not
gotta
going
be
anywhere near.
consequences for their
and he's
actions.
gonna gently let that tray table down because they'll always remember.
I've got like 8 flights this week. I need that handbook before I leave.
You just got to let them know. When it gets out of hand, just don't. You shouldn't suffer. You need to let them know how big of an asshole they are being and how much of an inconvenience. I've started going. The last one I had to let the guy know when we got off the plane that the entire plane thought he was a fucking moron. Yeah, and how do you feel about yourself knowing that the entire plane was looking at you for this 4.5 hour flight across country? That you were the one that shouldn't be on this plane, because that's how fucking stupid you are.
And if it gets really bad, you just reach over and spill your ginger ale all over the person.
Yeah, that'll handle
That'll
it.
work.
Yeah, she won't fucking mouth off no more. I promise you that.
It's our gift. It's our gift to the world. It's
Man, this has been great.
been fun, man.
What's Instagram handle? MPW Performance, right?
Yeah, MPW Performance and Race Fab. But the big one for me is Street Machine.
Street Machine.
Jump over and have a look at Street Machine YouTube channel. Check out streetmachine.com.au. Have a look at our stuff over there. And Summernats. Summernats USA. That is what I'm here to push today. Is the events are coming over to the US, and we want to see everyone at them. We want everyone to be part of them, and it's going to be a whole new car culture over here. So everything that you'll see on the Street Machine page, we're bringing over to Florida and Indy. So
Could be great.
should be a good thing. Should be good for every company involved and everyone who makes it through the gates.
Right on, man. Keep it coming.
Can't wait. It's been a great one. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys. Really honored to be here.
Thanks.
See you again next week.